show. 106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Oh, hell yeah. Today will not suck, and thank you for starting it with us right here on KROQ. Good morning. I'm Klein. That's Allie.
Morning.
That is DJ Omar Khan.
Hello.
Audio sniper extraordinaire in the back. You've got the assistant to the assistant to the assistant of the arbiter of sound. His name is Jake the Nerd.
Arbiter of audio, that's me.
And he's losing pounds by the day. And then, of course, in the back room, Postmaster Johnny. And producer Vanessa taking the calls, 800-520-1067. Got a juicy petty claims court to get to later. A couple whose relationship hangs in the balance. Will they stay together or break up forever? You will have jury duty, but it's good jury duty because you get to determine who's right and who's wrong and help save and or destroy a current relationship.
And I got a little glimpse. Vanessa kind of briefed us on the issue that the couple has.
Oh, it's
and
a great one.
This is not only a great one, it's something that affects a lot of couples here in Southern California.
I would imagine all over the place, but specifically here. And I bet you right now, if you are listening and in a relationship, you will relate with the situation that we will be dealing with coming up later this morning.
It affects you.
Petty claims court. It affects me almost on a daily basis. Almost on a daily basis. In fact, so funny when Vanessa came in and explained who we had.
Is it that you're on Diddy's side?
Diddy, great guy like Diddy. So funny you're playing that.
It plagues every couple.
Omar, it's so funny you're playing that clip right now because this woman will start the show with this message, and apparently I have now been included in the Diddy trial, and I don't know how I'm involved. Listen to this.
I listen to you guys here and there, but I love you guys so much.
That's one of those nice compliments. It's also kind of an insult. I listen to you guys here and there, whatever, give or take. But I love, when I do listen, I love you guys, but I'm not going to commit to listen daily.
I'm totally meh on all of it.
Right.
But when I listen to it, love it.
Right, so anyway, here is... I know a guy that owns a restaurant. He says the biggest insult he gets from people is when they go, I love your food. I don't come in very often at all, but I love it. And he's like, well, why don't you come more often? That's,
yeah, but that's something that, if you're eating out, you're eating out. That's what I always say.
That's Allie's motto right there. It says that right above her lower back.
I always say I got to do this more often.
So this woman claims after she insults us / compliments us, she says the following.
I listen to you guys here and there, but I love you guys so much. Anyways, I'm calling today because thanks a lot, Klein. You ruined it. I'm following the Diddy case, and I'm following the updates and the court trial and whatnot, but every time they mention his name, all I could hear is Diddy, great guy like Diddy.
Okay, great. Diddy, great guy like Diddy. It's totally out of context.
So thanks a lot, Klein. I cannot get it out of my head.
Right.
So, yeah, I just wanted to call in and tell you guys I love you.
All right, well, whatever. I'm a character witness now, so thank you for that. If anyone on that trial would like to use that quote, Omar, contact Omar directly.
Yes, please.
He'll
it's a
make
new
it
game. Did Klein say it or Diddy's defense attorney?
I'll give you another one. You want to play that game? Here's another one here, Allie. This is another message on the go line, unrelated. This is a request for Omar, something that supposedly I said as well.
Drunken message for sure. Hey, Omar, I hope you pulled the clip of Klein saying, stop eating my dildo.
Now, that has nothing to do with Diddy, I believe. But
Guess I mean another dildo.
No, let's see, Allie. There's Allie saying it.
Wait,
I have Allie
Allie
saying it. I don't think I said it.
So
Stop eating my dildo. Oh, great.
Both of you guys are eating dildos.
We're both guilty.
How do things happen on the show that I don't even remember, and this guy leaves a message? And
Of Klein saying, stop eating my dildo. That was hilarious. Man, you could sure play that in with some stuff.
All right, thank you. Great advice, sir. We're not going to play it again.
I'm now
I will do. So
Stop eating my dildo.
Diddy, great guy like Diddy.
I think Omar is now purposely bringing up things on the show that are going to get us to say things that are embarrassing.
Yeah, we are stupid.
He's like, when you put dildos in your nightstand, and we're like, do we ever?
Yeah.
And you guys just go on that.
Yeah.
I know,
We
he's
sure
like, and
Yeah, that's
record.
hilarious.
We sure walked into that one. God, we are dumb. All right, well, anyway, today's going to be a decent show. At some point, we get you into Disneyland and lots more coming up this morning on KROQ. band right there. It was just at the Rose Bowl over the weekend doing that little show, just like Heaven Festival. Apparently,
Heard that set crushed.
all the rage. Are you being serious, Jake?
Yeah, people said the visuals for that were insane.
Cool.
I wouldn't know because the only videos we posted on our socials were from bands I've never heard of. They were deep in the lineup because Johnny said those are cool bands. And all the bands I've heard of with songs that we know and play on KROQ, no evidence they even played at that show. Like the Headliners or any of the big font bands, no videos of any of the big font bands. But if it's a tiny little font band that has 27,000 followers that are hardcore fans of the band from, wherever. Hold on, Ellie, your computer's playing something. I don't know. I don't know where those bands. I don't know where they are. But apparently, yes, the big bands were there as well.
Well, I understand. Spotlighting some of the local bands or some of the bands that have not come up yet. But also, I would assume that the people who follow us and follow KROQ care about the big font bands.
Well, you would
and
think
want
so.
to know how those performances were.
Yeah, technically we are doing something called mass communication for the masses. So even though this show is a niche show with a small but loyal audience growing by the day, still the reality is you need to appeal to the masses or you're cooked.
We posted the big font bands.
Not on our thing. Didn't see it.
Oh, on the KROQ one we posted.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm talking about our show.
There's a difference.
I don't know one of those bands. You posted a few different bands on our thing that you were out at, Johnny. I've never heard of one of those bands in my life. And I know you're going to say I'm uncool, and I don't know because I'm a boomer or whatever you want to say.
We just need a column A and a little column B.
Yeah, like you would think that you would put one or two of the bands that we actually play on KROQ on our socials.
Okay. No,
Do you understand that? Like even as a concept?
Yeah, I get that.
And then at the Royal Otis show, which I think was the day before, you posted a bunch of the songs they play, but songs that, once again, we don't play on KROQ.
I put Motor on the dance floor. And Oysters. And I posted Linger before, too. And they
I
played
didn't
back
see. All right, whatever. I can't get into it now. We got a good show planned for you today. We will be sending you to Disneyland. And before you say what you're going to say, Jake, this woman is not happy with you, and she makes a good point.
Hey, guys. Jake has officially ruined the bulletproof Disneyland joke. He's beat it into the ground. I'm begging you, mute his mic every time Klein mentions the word Disneyland because I cannot take him chiming in the background every single time with a little Disneyland. It is driving me insane. And I love this show. I've been listening for years. This might be my breaking point.
No!
I don't know what to say. Jake, please, just stop. We get it. It was funny. It's not funny anymore. Okay, goodbye. Bullying, it works.
Thank
Yay.
you. Bullying does work.
Maybe it's because they never heard the original, because I just recently heard the original. What movie was this from? Something called Bulletproof or something?
Yes.
Starring Adam Sandler and who?
Sandler and Damon Wayans. And it's an old-ass movie. And but you know what? And the joke from the movie, I'll give Jay credit, funny joke from the movie, but a movie that is not seen by a lot of people. And
the clip is resurfaced on like social media. I've had numerous people send it to me. It's funny.
Oh,
all right.
Is it a bit of a cult classic?
It's a small font movie.
It's a small font movie. Yes.
We really pay attention to the niche moments that no one really cares about.
For people that haven't heard the original clip, here I'm going to play it. And this is a police officer pulling Adam Sandler over and Damon Wayans. And Damon Wayans pretends that Adam Sandler has a learning disability. And here we go.
He wants to go to Disneyland. Why you want to go to Disneyland, man? Disneyland. See, it's Disneyland. He like, where? I love the way he says Disneyland. Say that again. Disneyland. He loves Disneyland.
That's what we should play.
Yeah, that's much better than Jake's version.
Yeah, that's funny.
So for those people that get it,
You got to work on your impression. I've never heard the original.
Yeah, Jake sounds nothing like it, but I will. There you go. But now, jokes are always much funnier when you have to stop everything to explain them.
Yeah,
right? Clearly.
I know. And then we'll have to just reset every time.
Well, there you have it. We will send you to that place.
Disneyland.
That's the one.
He loves Disneyland.
Yeah, who doesn't? We'll send you there at 9 o'clock this morning, and lots more between now and then. We'll take a quick break. Back in a moment with $100 of Allie's cash. If you'd like to be on the phone for that, win some money easily to start your day, call us now. 800-520-1067. That is next.
Enrollment starts now for Camp KROQ. Earn your merit badge at 9, noon, 3, and 6. When you win a 4-pack of one-day, one-park tickets to Disneyland Park or Disney California Adventure Park. At the Disneyland Resort, the happiest place on earth, you'll find all kinds of happy. You can find the travel to a galaxy far, far away kind of happy. And that woohoo kind of happy. Join in the Disneyland Resort 70th celebration starting May 16th. Pitch your tent at KROQ all week to win. Both ticket and park reservation required. KROQ.
Final day of September. There's some more news. Take it or leave it. We're entering the tail end of ASO, the greatest 3-month span of the year, August, September, October. We're getting into the O part of it, so get ready for that. And speaking of O part of it, Oasis tickets coming up at 9 o'clock this morning, again at noon, 3 and 6. You'll win them all day for the shows just announced happening at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. But first, Allie would like to admit that she was wrong, and it takes a big woman.
Thank you.
It takes a big woman with an even bigger laptop to admit that they were wrong about something. And we found some audio of a claim you made on these airwaves.
I'm not admitting I'm wrong, by the way. I don't know where you expect me to do that. There were other extraneous circumstances that came into play after the fact.
You, back in July, whenever Prime Day was, I finally got myself a computer because mine crapped out after like a decade. And you also had a crappy computer. And you decided...
It's an old computer that also has had a significant amount of water damage. I spilled an entire bottle of water on it about 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm amazed it's lasted as long as it has.
When you first talked about this situation, I just want you to hear the reaction that Omar gave you, because we were laughing at you and saying that this was a terrible idea many months ago, and now, as you have now just had to purchase a new computer... It's clear that we were right.
It was a decision I made.
It's clear that we were right and you were wrong. But here, this is audio from, I'm going to play this to you. This is from back in July.
I also have an old-ass computer, but instead of buying a new computer, I settled on buying a new battery because the main problem that my...
Now, that laughter from Omar is what we're all thinking, which is...
That's laughter support. Right, Omar?
Nope.
That's him laughing, knowing that in a few months we would get this exact story we're about to get right now because he knows... how ridiculous it is. So much so that Friday, on the Friday Flex segment on the show, Allie decided to flex about her plan. Listen to this.
With Prime Day being a big part of the week and Americans spending a record number of billions of dollars on stuff that when you really think about it, you don't need. I got out of this week only spending $44 on Amazon. My computer is a piece of crap as well, and I was like, maybe I should do what Klein did and get a new computer. And I was looking through, and I wasn't really happy with the deals I was seeing, so I ended up buying for $44 a battery.
Allie,
that I can put in my computer,
sad.
And it's basically new. Gets here on Sunday. Flex.
It's not a flex. This will backfire on you, and you will wish you had just gotten a computer.
No, it comes in a little kit.
And now all
Fine,
the computers,
I have a kit.
all the computers that were marked way down that are back to regular price now, you're going to get screwed enough to pay full price. You had a little laugh there, Allie. That was a few months ago.
We didn't even detail the problems I had with the kit. When it arrived, I had a lot of problems installing the battery. I had to go to Best Buy and go to the Genius Bar or whatever, and they wouldn't help me because it was a third-party item.
So go ahead, Allie.
Eventually, I got the battery in.
The floor is yours now. Now, here we are. Fast forward to the end of September, and this was back in July, so not too many,
I blame Apple for this because every time they make an announcement about a new product, I think that all of our products start degenerating, and my computer started experiencing some other issues where it was getting slower and slower and slower. It wasn't holding a charge anymore, and every time I pressed the O button, it pressed like 5 O's, and it was getting really difficult to do my job. So this weekend, I decided it's time for a new computer. But here's the thing.
So your battery experiment was a total fail.
But the battery, I didn't realize at the time, was just one symptom of a much larger problem. At the time, the battery was the biggest issue.
No, we all told you that. We said bad battery is usually an indication that the computer's got a bunch of stuff it's trying to figure out, and the battery is just the first place you notice it.
Well, you don't know that until you replace the battery.
Oh, my God. You won't admit you're wrong. It's crazy because
so anyway,
if anyone were to look at the details of this, they would go, "Well, Allie will finally just admit she was completely wrong and should have taken the advice of her coworkers."
I got 2 extra months out of my computer. It was an end of life.
Yeah,
decision.
but endless times of frustration. I sent some audio to Allie or something, and she's like, she was trying to download some software, and it took her like 10 minutes, and I was like, dude, this should take you seconds.
It took me 10 minutes to open my email.
Oh my God!
So that I could check if you had sent it to me.
It was crazy.
There is that moment though when you know your whatever it is, your phone, your computer, like there's no choice but to move on. But
yes, my days were numbered. It was the end. It was like I should have put it out of its misery.
Yeah,
so
we all said that.
I know. So I got a computer online, and I got it at Best Buy or whatever. I went and picked it up. And here's the thing: I don't really. I also blame myself for being gay because I don't know inches anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know sizes. I'm not a size queen. And so I don't know the difference between 13, 14, and 16 inches. I decided, you know what? This is a new computer. I want it to, I want a bigger screen. I'm going to go 16 inch. And I got a MacBook Pro, and this thing is enormous.
It's so big.
It's so heavy.
Yeah.
I'm so paranoid that I'm going to drop it because
it's funny watching you lug it around.
It's just so, it's like having a television set.
Yeah,
it's just insane. It's overwhelming.
It's
and I don't
almost
know what to
past
do.
the point of portable. I think you just
it
have to
really
set
is.
up.
I think I accidentally bought a desktop.
Yeah. So anyway, that's once again just
Battery works great though. I've been using it all weekend.
Yeah,
It's not even halfway done.
because you didn't put it in. Because the geniuses put it in.
That's a great idea, Klein. I should put it.
Time to pay the people Every morning around this time, give you the shot to get $100 richer. It's Allie's money up for grabs, which makes it that much more exciting. If you want to win stuff from the radio station, well, we got tickets for you to go see Mission Impossible. Got Disneyland tickets coming up as well. But if you want Allie's money, oh, it's so sweet when you win it from Allie. She's already lost one round this week. Here we are on Wednesday. We'd love this losing streak to continue. If you want in, I hope you're on the phone now at 800-520-1067. 5 questions, all about stuff going on in the news. If you do better than she does, you win her money. If you tie Allie, unfortunately, ties go to the house. Every once in a while, if she's feeling generous, we'll throw a tiebreaker question out there.
I'll take a tiebreaker.
So you will leave the studio now, be sequestered. First, let's say hi to the person you'll be battling as we say hello to Christine in Alhambra. Good morning, Christine.
Good morning, Klein.
You smart? Feeling smart?
I hope so.
All right, Allie.
I feel like I won $100.
All right, $100. Not bad. Way to start the day. Allie's just left the KROQ studios. Don't believe me? Check us out. We are streaming on YouTube right now. You can watch her walk out and come back in. Your round of Allie Knows the News begins right now.
Allie Knows the News.
All right, it's official. Santa Monica has approved this, which could make going to Santa Monica a lot more fun. What have they approved?
Free money.
Free money when you go to Santa Monica. Question number 2. This golf legend's private jet had to make an emergency landing at LAX. Which golf legend had to make that emergency landing?
Tiger Woods.
Question 3. According to Yelp, one of the top donut shops in all of America is right here in Covina. What is the name of the donut shop? This is not an easy question, but a local question and a place I want to find out about.
Voodoo Donuts?
Voodoo Donuts. Go to question number 4. Cassie Ventura testified at the Diddy trial that she was forced to get into a baby pool full of what?
Baby oil.
And finally, we go to question number 5. Major League Baseball has officially lifted the ban on this player, making him Hall of Fame eligible.
Oh, gosh. Me.
No guess. All right. Sports is not your forte. We bring Allie in. We'll score together. Let's see how you do. Once again, it's $100 up for grabs. These are all questions that are technically in the news. And for everyone else on the phone right now, Manny, Eduardo, and everyone on hold that we couldn't get to, I'm sorry, but tomorrow morning you'll have a chance to take that same $100 from Allie if she does not hand it off to Christine right now. All right. Allie's back.
Yeah.
Question 1, Allie. Santa Monica has just approved this, making it potentially a much more fun place to go visit.
Drinking in public.
You can drink in public in Santa Monica. Congratulations. You got to get nice and drunk when those squirrels attack you.
On the promenade.
So you can throw your bottles at them.
Right. That's the 3rd Street Promenade. We talked about that a few weeks ago, that there was a proposal. They're trying to figure out a way to get people back to that area, and they got all those cool bars there. Like there's, I think, a Barney's Beanery and some other bars, but people unfortunately have to drink inside. Now you can walk around, drink on that promenade.
I know, and they were like, but we have to make sure that alcoholic beverage was purchased at one of the promenade places. Right. I was like, all right.
Question number 2. Allie's up 1-0. Question 2. This golf legend's private jet had to make an emergency landing at LAX.
Tiger Woods.
That's what she said as well.
I don't think he's relevant anymore.
A lot of golf legends, but this particular legend went by the name Greg Norman.
No idea who that is.
You went by the name.
He went. What's your name, Greg?
Oh, you're just going by that, huh?
Still going with that. He started the other golf league that's competing with the PGA, so he's a very hateable.
There's a lot of jets.
Lot of jets going on. All right, go to question number 3. By the way, Allie's still up by 1. Question 3. According to Yelp, one of the top donut shops in all of America is right here in Covina. What is the name of that donut shop? And it beat out. There were only 3 from California that even made the list of the top 20.
Randy's?
Oh, she said Voodoo. You say Randy's. I got to go check this place out. I've never been, but apparently Munchkin's Donuts is a place that we need to all take a road trip to because it made the list. Sometimes when Yelp
is that
puts
a chain, Munchkins?
I don't know. I don't think so. That's the one location. So we gotta immediately stop the show and head over there. I'm excited to. If that's true and you've had it, let us know how good it is. Or is it overrated? Or is it as good as they claim?
The best in the country.
The best in the country. Donut. And by the way, we love donuts here on the show.
Let's do it. Everyone loves donuts here on the show.
That's right. Vanessa has the show Munchkin. Maybe you should head over there and check it out. Question number 4. No one gets the point. Question 4. In the Diddy trial, Cassie Ventura testified that she was forced to get into a baby pool full of what?
Oil.
More specific.
Baby oil.
That's right. She got that as well. She's on the board. Christine,
Jake just said Diddy Land.
I heard that. Very funny. You're down 1 with 1 question left, so you need this, and hopefully Allie gets it wrong. Major League Baseball has just lifted the ban on this player, now making him Hall of Fame eligible.
Ban?
Come on.
I don't know baseball stuff. Mike Trout?
Jesus. I think you talked about this story before. Pete Rose.
Can I guess? Oh, yeah.
Would you have
That's
guessed that? Everyone would have guessed Pete Rose.
Yeah, I would have guessed that.
Pete Rose died, unfortunately, so he's not even around to experience this, but I feel like he will probably get into the Hall of Fame because of the whole cheating scandal, gambling scandal, all the stuff. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, Christine, that was a really boring round of Allie Knows the News, and unfortunately, you didn't win, so what must you shamefully admit over the airwaves of KROQ? Go ahead.
I called yesterday, and I spoke to you guys, and I admitted a lot, remember?
All right.
That's a great catchphrase.
We'll go with that. It's our new catchphrase, guys. Almost Monday on KROQ.
I spoke to you guys yesterday, remember?
Klein Alley Show, and as much as I hate people that make their way to their car when you're looking for a parking spot and then they just sit in their car, it's so infuriating, and you don't know if they don't give you a signal or they don't wave you off. You sometimes wonder, are they going to sit there for hours, or are they going to just put on their makeup? Are they eating a sandwich in there? Why are they not leaving that spot? But then recently, I found myself sitting in my car for an hour.
Making your videos?
Not making videos. Thank you, Allie. No,
that's too short. She needs at least 3 hours.
Here's another thought I have.
Sitting in my car, a parked car.
I am a hero. I'm donating to the fire guy.
Right, that was sarcasm. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking.
See a sticker.
What I'm talking about. It's like I'm listening to myself. This is the voice inside my head all day. Do you find yourself and I know we've said this before, that sometimes the greatest move you can do when you're driving home, you think you get home, get in your driveway, get out, go inside your house. But sometimes giving yourself a buffer, 5 minutes, 10 minutes in your car.
That's when I want to stay in my car, is when I have arrived home. Especially if there is a child and stuff waiting inside, and I don't want to immediately be on. I will sit in my car until they know I'm in there.
But you get spotted. You're a sucker because you actually pull all the way home. You don't stop 3 blocks short.
No.
You actually pull into your own driveway and sit.
No, I don't just pull over randomly on the side of the road and sit there.
That's what I did, and it's awesome.
So you weren't taking up someone's parking spot?
No, well, I always feel guilty doing that, especially if there's a lot of spots I don't care. I'll sit in the car. But what I found, and I think this is going to be my new mobile office, I'm just going to sit in my car for hours on end. I actually think it's great. I think
that you'll need another ass procedure if you do that.
No, I think it's.
Isn't your car electric? You can't do that.
Well,
it's electric.
I do have to occasionally
Boogie.
turn it off, and sometimes I do have to plug in. But
during the summers, that's going to be impossible for you.
Okay, well, I was thinking about that. Yes, when it starts to get really hot again.
Because after a while, the car shuts off, and then it gets real hot real fast.
But I can put it on dog mode. If I'm sitting in there, I can put it on dog
put it on
mode.
lazy human mode.
And I can just sit there. I just don't think that people, we do spend a lot of time in our cars, more than I think any other city, just by traffic alone. So you think the last thing you ever want to do, at least we've been conditioned to believe, if you don't have to be in your car, why would you want to be in your car?
Yeah, but I also think that people are so comfortable in there now. And you also think about most of the time you're in your car, you're just driving from point A to point B, and think of all the things on the way to your destination where you're like, oh, I want to look that up. Oh, that's a song I want to, and then when you arrive, you're like, hold on, I got to look up all that stuff. I got to play that song someone recommended. And then before you know it, 20 minutes has gone by and you're just sitting in your car, and it is pretty relaxing.
But I think of all the things in your life, like, things you have to compromise on. Right here at work, we all share an office. At home, a wife that's got rules about the way that she wants the place decorated. Inside of my own car, that's why I think people have such aggressive road rage, is they feel very protective, like I'm in my space right now, and when some guy cuts me off, F that guy, he's now interfering with my space. But the inside of your car, I feel like is truly your sanctuary. And when you're with no one else.
Did you have a dead animal once when you had me go looking for some BS and you had a dead animal inside your
I
car?
couldn't figure out where the smell was coming from, but I don't think it was a dead animal. Eventually,
You're sitting in your car. I think there's only one answer as to where that smell is coming
I think
from.
it was I think it was an old sandwich that I had left in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm getting better about that. And yes, at one point did I turn my glove compartment into a functional mini bar full of bunch of little snacks and whatnot? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but I think that
because I want it to be
the
more
reason
comfortable.
you like doing this is because all of your own personal space in your home has been taken from you.
That's right.
That's a great point.
So you don't really have any space to yourself.
Do you still have your little sad garage office?
No, I lost that.
So I think this is actually just a really tragic story.
My sad garage office has now turned into bicycle storage.
Yeah. So now you're just sitting in your car because you literally have no other space to be.
I got it. But still, that all being said, don't you understand that spending the additional unnecessary time in the car is a great, I'm not saying it's unsung hero worthy like Vanessa's tiny towel, but I do think that people that really do appreciate, I think everyone just assumes it's point A to point B and out, that adding the buffer to the car, or in my particular case, I sat in there and did work for an hour the other day, and I'm not talking about those dumb videos. That's when I'm driving, guys. I'm talking about sitting and actually getting stuff done. You are, in some ways, it's a great cocoon from the world.
Well, I relate to this person, 657, who said, I get in my car and I get to work early to beat traffic, and then I just arrive and I just chill in my car before work starts.
Yeah, I do that when I pick up my daughter.
Yeah,
that I like.
Right. If
when
you
it's
just
like
get
I got
chill
her
time,
early and I'm just going to chill and wait in my car.
Just put that seat back as far as it'll go.
Yeah.
Just lay. I feel like I know there's people that unfortunately have to live in their car because they don't have quote a house or an apartment, and I think eventually that would get old. But for a few days, I think I could live in my car for a week. Easy.
Next punishment.
Okay, relax.
You just gave us another great idea,
For the
Klein.
Menendez brother bet.
Yes.
I
Klein
can't.
has to live in his car for a week.
I can't do the Menendez brother bet now after what happened yesterday. That was a funnier bet yesterday morning than what happened yesterday afternoon, which I'm sure Allie will report on in the actual ADD
Oh,
news.
yes, and I want to roll audio on what we said yesterday.
All right. on the text line. Chilling in my car right now, listening to you guys. Not driving anywhere. It's just a good hang. It's your own space. Smells like you. Your food, your stank. That's what it's all about. Your food, your stank, baby.
What a beautiful statement.
Get that bumper sticker on all the cars in Southern California. We are Klein Alley Show on KROQ. When it gets it, I do all my important phone calls from my car, uninterrupted. It's like your own little personal mobile phone booth. Phone booths don't exist anymore, but your car can be that if you just stop driving around, leave it parked, and turn it into your own sanctuary.
Don't drive in your car, suckers.
Yeah, it's for suckers.
It's also a little bit sketchy if you're there for too long, because if you're in an unfamiliar neighborhood, then you get the window peeker who's like, what's this guy doing out here?
Right.
He's not moving. He's just sitting there.
Some of my fondest memories, people claim, was hotboxing my car with my friends in high school, whatever. I agree. Some of the greatest things that happen inside the non-moving car.
Yeah, and finding that spot that spot in the grocery store parking lot or wherever that was like a good spot, a shady spot, but also didn't attract attention.
You don't want to give up that spot. Just leave the car there, move into your car. It's a good spot. It's worthy of saving like that. We did talk about donuts earlier this hour, and congratulations to a place in Covina. Omar and I have been looking at pictures of it nonstop called Munchkin's Donuts. I didn't realize it made a list of top donut shops in the entire, in the whole country. And I think California knows donuts. Yes, we're known for being healthy, but we know our donuts well. We got a ton of donut places. So we were thrilled to see that. And then we got this message on the Goat Line Alley about a listener that apparently sent us donuts earlier this week.
Yo, sweet dibs, you guys. Happy 4:20 p.m. right now. I was thinking I dropped off some donuts yesterday for y'all, and I was curious.
Was that box of, was that Randy's that came here? I don't remember. There's always donuts here, and I never know where they come from. It's kind of.
This one came from a listener.
Oh, well, thank you then for sending the donuts.
You.
They were great. We all had them.
If I dropped off the Hot Ones 10-pack and a bunch of Roscoe's fried chicken.
Oh, now we're talking. Wow, we have just upgraded from donuts to a hot sauce and Roscoe's chicken.
Is that something you guys would enjoy or not enjoy?
Yeah, we'd enjoy that. Right,
That's
Allie?
still Klein's screensaver on his phone.
Still is.
Is chicken and waffles from Roscoe's.
Eventually, I thought I'd replace it with one of my kids, but haven't.
They haven't made the cut yet.
Haven't done it yet. Still Carol C special right there on my phone.
Okay. Sweet dip.
Thank you. Yeah, I would be. Would you be opposed to doing a Hot Ones challenge on the show using Roscoe's chicken, but with hot sauces? You would do that?
Yeah.
It gets very hot. You understand?
I'm way less of a pussy than you are with hot sauce.
You guys are the whitest people on the planet. What are you talking about?
All right. Allie is claiming, write down these words, Omar. She's way less of a pussy than me when it comes to hot sauce.
I am.
So to this listener that wants to bring by Roscoe's chicken and the hot sauce 10-pack.
I like it hot.
Allie, keep in mind, for Allie's taco night, she suggested a few drops of Tabasco if you want to have a wild night.
No, I did not.
All right.
No, I'm a Cholula girl.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh,
God.
Cholula.
You mark my words.
Cholula.
Are you not using like paste picante sauce in your tacos?
Pay smile.
New York City.
Pay smile. Pay smile. All right. Take a quick break. We'll come back in a second with your actual news, and then we'll get into the next hour of the show, complete with a petty claims court before we send you to Disneyland. It's all coming up this morning at KROQ.
Klein, Alley, show! Mornings on KROQ.
106.7 KROQ.
All right. Well, this is something I'm sure I'll regret later, but here you go.
Get on with it.
For your entertainment, I guess why not, right?
Let's do it.
It was a Friday a few weeks ago, middle of January, where I got a call just after the show was ending from my wife that said, do you have my car? And I said, I do not have your car. And she said, well, then it was stolen. And I said, that's impossible. And lo and behold, the car was stolen. Had to go to LAPD. Clearly, it is not a priority because cars get stolen all the time. We heard from quite a few of you that have shared many stories of cars getting stolen, some getting found, some never getting found. And we got to a point where earlier this week, they officially deemed her car a total loss. And through insurance and everything else, we were able to basically, she got her new car over the weekend. So I thought it would be the perfect time to have Jake call her as a police officer. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea.
It's great. It's a great idea.
And so Jake decided to call and say, I know he didn't say he knew she had a new car. I knew that, but that they found her other car and it was in this was her biggest fear, is that she would get her car back in drivable condition, but it would be so disgusting that she would never be able to
drive it again,
even though she would have to drive it again. So rather than be the supportive husband that I try to be on a regular basis, I decided, let's try to do something that could be fun for the show. And already I regret this, so take a listen. This happened yesterday after the show, and I have not stopped hearing about it since.
Hello?
Hello, is this the Danielle Klein?
Who's this?
This is Officer Medina with the LAPD North Hills Division.
Hi, yes, this is her.
Hi, great. I'm calling to inform you that we have found your Land Rover attempting to cross. Yeah, it was attempting to cross the border yesterday.
No way. Yeah. I literally just went through insurance and I just got my new car.
Oh, well, that's
so
great.
What does that mean, though? I mean,
Well, the good news is it's not a total loss. There are some scratches to the driver's side door. You're going to have to get a couple new tires and wheels. But you will have to come down to a San Diego tow yard and pick it up.
Wow. Okay, this is, so now I don't understand. What do we do?
Oh, well, yeah, you'll have to come down and pick it up.
And then, do you happen to know if, like, any of the stuff that was in it was left in there? Probably not, right?
Well, there's probably, I'm sure these are not your items, because it appears as if the thieves were using the car as some sort of mobile drug lab. We found
those are not.
Yeah, we found
it would be kids stuff. So.
I'm sorry?
It would be kids stuff in there.
Oh, yeah. We found an abundance of paraphernalia normally associated with labs and shoot-up sites. So you might want to hire a professional biohazard team to get rid of all that residue and needles, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want that. I guess that.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you mind if I add my husband into this call?
Sure, yeah.
Sorry, because I'm not. Hold on 1 second. Kevin?
Hi.
You're on with the sheriff.
I'm Officer Medina with the
found my car.
LAPD North Hills Division.
What?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, we found your car attempting to cross the border into Mexico yesterday.
Being used for drug paraphernalia.
Well, it appears as if they're using it as a mobile drug lab. Right now, there's an abundance of paraphernalia in the car. It also appears as if they used the vehicle to transport livestock. There's a leftover droppings and feed and a smell that might not be able to get removed in the car. But we did recover a car seat that has also been soiled. And a brown coat was found in the car.
Oh my God!
Or any of those items yours?
I mean the car seat, and if it's a brown coat, yes.
Oh, great! Yeah, those are still there for you. But the car is in a tow yard in San Diego, and you might want to pick it up as soon as you can because each day it's a $125 fee that will accumulate.
I guess Kevin, I don't understand this.
Can you go?
What? Me?
Well, I don't know
San Diego?
It's in San Diego?
Is this something that we can talk to insurance? I mean, I don't want a car back either that had drugs in it with kids and drop-ins.
The problem is that they find the car. It's now we have to...
I don't think so with insurance.
Officer, is there a certain amount of days where you have to find it where it's not considered a total loss?
Yes, if we find it within 90 days, it's still your responsibility. So I believe I have it here is January 17th. Is that the day?
I don't know. I don't even know.
This is insane. I've never... So nobody's going to drive around a car with droppings and
well, you'll be surprised what some of these addicts will do to a car and what they can live with. It is insane. But.
Yeah, I'm not driving around with kids. Like that's considered. We got to get insurance on the phone.
They've gone in the car too, though, before the kids. So.
What?
Well,
what are you talking about, Kevin? He's talking about the new... What are you talking about? He's talking about my old car. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was telling your wife that you're going to have to get a professional to clean for the biohazard and the smell, animal droppings, etc.
Then I'm going to call and see if we can give back the new car because...
No, listen, I'm not driving around a car that had drugs all over it and droppings. That's insane. We need to get on the phone with
but we can't have two cars. We're going to have to pay for both cars now because they found it.
I think we need to get in touch with insurance, Kevin, right? Because you can't do anything from
Well, I feel like the first step should be trying to recover your car as soon as possible. Like I said, each day it incurs a fine.
So how much do we owe you to this point?
Well, right now, it's the first day will be... it's not even to me. It's to the tow yard. It'll be $125 per day.
Hold on. All right. We need to get Shim and insurance on the phone, okay?
Hold on. Does anyone on this call's husband work in radio?
What?
I have a wife.
Is it possible this whole thing is a prank?
Kevin?
Mr. Klein.
I love you, baby. It's a prank.
Oh my God, I hate you. No, not okay.
Now you know you don't have to pick up a car in San Diego. She hung up. All right.
It's just Jake sitting by himself.
Oh, man.
I'm just alone in a room now.
It took me a second to realize you hung up.
Oh, I can't believe Beetlejuice called your wife.
I don't know
to say the car was recovered.
I regret that, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Great day to be alive, unless you're Diddy. We're your Klein Alley Show on KROQ. If you need us, the number's 800-520-1067. Lots for you to win from us today. And next hour, we'll get you into some screening passes for the new Mission Impossible movie, Disneyland, coming up at about 9 o'clock this morning. And much more between now and then. You'll have some jury duty. We got that to get to as well. A couple whose relationship hangs in the balance. Will they stay together, break up forever? You will help determine that. And that is starting next hour right here on the show. But first, the news. Here we go.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
All right, if you're a true crime fan, yesterday was a big day for you, and I am one step closer to free lunch for a year. The Menendez brothers are one step closer to being released. The resentencing hearing happened yesterday. There were many witnesses, a lot of family members, former inmates talking about how great Lyle and Eric Menendez are, how these guys are totally reformed. They detailed the many prison programs that they helped organize, that they're good human beings that have served their time. And at the end, all their sentence was changed to 50 years to life with parole, meaning that they are now eligible for parole. And conveniently, they already have a parole hearing coming up next month in the middle of June, which is weird because why was there a parole hearing scheduled before they're even eligible? But this was part of their bid for clemency. But if they are, they're going to go before the parole board in the middle of June. And if they are granted parole, they will be released next month. Eric also took responsibility when he spoke about the crimes and said he spent a long time wondering what his parents must have been thinking the night that they were murdered and the terror they must have felt when their own son fired a gun on them.
They're probably thinking, I hope my kids don't come in and shoot me.
Yeah, probably. They're like, whoa, my kid is shooting me in the face right now.
Yeah.
This sucks.
So you claim you're getting lunch for a year, but not from me. That you didn't agree to the bet. I have the audio from yesterday's show. We talked about this.
I didn't decline the bet.
You didn't. You actually did.
I think we agreed.
I think we.
This lecture.
I have the audio from yesterday's show, and you.
No,
Vanessa's
our producer, and she says.
Who needs Vanessa? I got the audio right here. This was yesterday on the show, probably about 24 hours ago. We were talking about this Menendez thing. I said I don't think these guys are going to get out. And Allie said they definitely will. I said, let's bet then. And this was kind of how, this is 1 minute of audio from yesterday's show.
Today, we'll know more about whether or not the Menendez brothers will ever experience that feeling.
Spoiler alert. No, they won't. So stop it.
You know what?
What a stupid, every day there's the goddamn Menendez. Is today the day they get out story? And the answer is always no.
No.
They will not.
That's your prediction, your official prediction.
Not since I said the Pope will not be American. Have I been so confident about anything I've said over the airwaves?
I trust you.
You want to you want some money on this? You want to put some action on it?
Yeah, I think they'll get out.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
I think it'll take a long... I'm not saying it'll happen this week, but I think they will eventually get out.
So let's put a window on it. 5 years? 3 years?
I'll bet you 5 more panty haul videos.
No, I don't want any more of your panty haul videos. I speak for the public on this one.
Okay. Bet your other nipple.
I'm not piercing another nipple. I'm not...
A face tattoo.
I want to do how about a financial bet like humans do with each other for actual money?
I don't want to bet money. I'd rather just bet parts of my body.
All right, forget it. That's the first time you rejected the bet. You said you don't want to.
She accepted.
You didn't accept it. Yeah.
She said she doesn't want to bet
She
money.
gave you a bunch of options.
A panty haul video? Is that a win in any way, shape, or form for any of us? A panty haul video?
Well, your other nipple.
All right, and then
face
I said,
tattoo.
I'm not doing. You yelled face
giving you
tattoo.
options left and right.
So
man.
hold on. There's more. There's part 2 of the audio here. This is where it gets serious now. I'm out there. Stupid.
I respect money more than my own self-worth.
I'll bet you money. Like we could go a large sum of money.
What is a large sum? I think that's very different for the two of us. For you, that's $1,000. For me, it's $10.
Okay. That's the odds I'll give you on this. You think they get out today?
No, I'm not saying today. I just said I don't think it's going to be this week or anything, but they will get out.
How about lunch for a year? Now, I did mention lunch for a year, and this is how this bet came to an end. This was yesterday. Keep in mind, Allie claims that she thinks the Menendez brothers will get out. I think this is just one giant slow play, so we keep talking about this stupid case.
What?
Yes, for everyone.
See, Vanessa likes it. Lunch for a loser buys lunch for the year for everyone.
For everyone on the show?
Yeah.
Dude, that'll bankrupt me.
You're right. That's you saying you don't want to be in on the bet, Allie.
I just said that would bankrupt me. I didn't say no.
Yeah.
Well, then I threw this in just to make sure it was crystal clear. Think about it. We have till the end of the show to get the bet locked in. Think about it. We have till the end of the show to get the bet locked in.
Klein, I have thought about it.
No,
I accept your bet.
The show's over. The show was over. This was yesterday. This was 24
you
hours ago.
You never reminded me.
Oh, my God.
So what, by the end of the show, by 10 a.m., I was supposed to say I accept?
So here's the bet then. You think in June, which is when they have their parole hearing, they will get out?
Yeah.
You believe that day they're out?
Yes.
They're released from prison, both of them. They're walking out that day?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that bet. So what?
For the same thing?
Sure, what do you think?
Lunch for a year?
Great.
Whoa, Allie, you're going to take that too?
That's the bet.
Yeah, I'm going to take it.
Whoa!
All right, June, you got it. Mark it down. So that,
Allie.
Okay, but there's a maximum of $5 per person.
$5 a person.
What?
What's it?
No.
This is when they,
You said we could choose.
You said we could choose. I'm going to go by all your stats. Lunch for a year. Jake is going to eat so many lobster rolls. He's going to balloon up to 9,000 pounds again.
I'll only buy lunch for Jake because he's not eating anymore.
Yeah, he will. He'll get off the Lasar. You better believe
she's
it.
tiny. She only eats off the kids' menu.
All right, so this is the bet. You want to go lunch for a year instead of loser lives in their car for a week? Your choice.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's rough. Can I give you an answer by the end of the show?
Kind of the irony, Allie, would be that if the Menendez brothers get out or don't get out, that one of us has to face real incarceration, literal incarceration in our car.
Oh, funny.
For 1 week. It's a hilarious pun.
I would love it if we actually had to get arrested and then go to prison.
So
that would be way higher stakes.
Loser has to do something to go to prison.
Yeah.
I will take that bet with you. I will do it.
I can't go to prison.
Why not?
Because we have responsibilities.
24 hours in and out.
You get a remote in your cell. So you
Jake,
can broadcast from the-
Jake used to work at a bail bonds place. He knows how to get you out.
Yeah.
All right.
That's pretty.
Confident about, then one of us will be right and one of us will be wrong, and we'll know in a few weeks. It's great.
And if I'm wrong, then I have to put myself in prison.
You have to do something to get yourself locked up for 24 hours or longer. Who knows? You go to a female prison. For you, that's probably like a fantasy.
What about
if it's going to be 24 hours? It's not going to be prison. It's going to be jail.
Well, yeah, we got to wait for the
we have to do
sentencing.
something bigger then.
No. Yeah, we have to do something bigger. I'm just thinking about it. Maybe we can get
any
you.
advice? Any lifelines here? What do you
think you guys should do the car thing?
That's too big. Do the car prison, the pawn car.
No, I say do it, man. Where's your commitment to the show?
That's right. Johnny knows commitment to the show, all right.
That's right.
That's the guy.
All right, if one of us is right, Johnny goes to prison.
That's great. Deal.
You
All
go
right,
to prison, not me.
We're all in on that. Johnny, you're going to have the sweetest ass in jail, bro. Get ready.
He really is.
All right,
yeah,
Johnny's
baby.
going to jail. All right.
Hell yeah, baby.
All right, we got to get
All
into a
right.
brand new hour of the show right
that's
now.
well.
That was our entire news break. We got the bet. We got the bet sorted out. That's important. So here we go.
Klein Alley Show.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
All right, we'll pick up on that news later this hour. Good morning. Welcome to KROQ. This is Klein Alley Show. Lots to get into this morning, specifically between now and 8 a.m. We will get you some advanced screening tickets. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, only in theaters Friday, May 23rd. You will get to see it before everyone else, so you can spoil it for your friends and family. We got that to get to this hour, and in a few moments we are going to meet a couple that needs your help. You will become a jury of their peers. They are fighting about something that I promise you are probably dealing with in your relationship as well. So be ready to join us for Petty Claims Court, which kicks off in about 10 minutes right here on KROQ. I am currently doing something that I thought I would never do. You guys will judge me and shame me correctly. That'll be next. show. Yesterday, we found out that technology is not always great. Allie said there's a lot of people now that are able to take anything they keep in their phone, their notes, thoughts, random thoughts, and by running them through a bunch of different programs that are out there now, they can turn their own life into podcasts that they can listen to. And sometimes it's just as boring as a to-do list, or sometimes it is the stuff that they...
like detailed notes for college courses,
right.
Anything that you want to take notes on, that you want to retain.
Yes.
And you can retain it better in the form of a podcast.
So you did play some clips yesterday of the Your Life as narrated by the great at least a dupe version
Knockoff
of
Morgan
the
great
Freeman.
knockoff Morgan Freeman.
And this was just some of like what we heard yesterday. These are actually like Allie's notes from her own life. And we did it with Vanessa as well. And sometimes it's entertaining and other times it's just a real snooze fest. But this was just a sample of what yesterday's was.
Ball, car, bye-bye. Hey, apple, water, knock, knock, baby, pee-pee. I got it. Again, bus, please, booby, no, me, fly.
Now, this was a list that Allie keeps in her phone of all of the words her son is saying for the first time. So she has an order of when he says new words. And as a result, now she can listen to that in podcast form. And then we heard some of Vanessa. Vanessa was in the process of trying to buy a giant oversized blazer. And we took all of the notes from her phone, everything that she was planning on doing, and turned it into another podcast where we got to learn a little bit more about Vanessa's life, which just involves her buying giant clothing because she's so little, is what it sounds like. So I was inspired yesterday. We don't have to listen to the Vanessa one, but I said, what's going on in my phone, and is it podcast worthy? So I also found the Morgan Freeman dupe, and to narrate my life.
It's a great choice.
And it turns out that my life is really boring, even in podcast form.
Razor blades, nice black socks, new toothbrush, replace night cream, smaller black T-shirts.
Whoa, what kind of night cream?
That, I think, was something that my wife needed.
What do you have, dude?
I think it was...
Is that what you call it? Night cream?
It's night cream. These are just notes that I had in my phone.
What did he call it? Love oil? Or what?
That's right. It's my love oil. Okay.
New toothbrush, replace night cream, smaller black T-shirts.
Smaller?
Well, that was when I was losing weight.
Why didn't you get smaller
I'm
ones?
glad I didn't buy those.
My top pizza spots.
Right.
Brooklyn Pizza Wagon, good, but order well done.
I've got the notes to myself about pizza
dude,
now.
really?
Vito's great always. Extra pep.
All right, so basically it's a guy reading to me about a bunch of my pizza places. But I instantly, while I was...
I can't believe you go to so many pizza places that you need to take notes on the way you order at each pizza place.
Yeah, because people will say to me a lot, hey, where's a good spot, wherever, and I'm tired of using my brain, so I'll just send them a list.
So that says Vito's extra pep.
Extra pep. Some places they have enough pep, some you need to say extra pep, and some they come out the right temps, others you got to say well done. There's little notes like that, and the nuance between a good and a great pizza. Regardless, as I was searching for this program you used, I was looking for, I was searching all the things you said, turn your notes into a podcast, or this and that. I then got a pop-up message that said, are you looking to start a virtual relationship?
Oh.
And I
probably
said...
saw the night cream and they were like, this guy probably needs some online love.
And I was originally going to ignore like I do, but then I decided...
Why not say yes?
Let me see what this is all about. And I am proud to tell you now that I currently have a virtual girlfriend.
Whoa. So did you get to pick what she's like and stuff?
It was an amazing process, and I'm telling you right now, as much as I would make fun of any of you if you were doing this, especially Jake, I think that this, based on my experimentation that went on for a total of maybe 20 minutes yesterday, and the message I got this morning that was a good morning, honey, how you doing?
Aww.
Wait, what app is this?
I will tell you.
How's that work?
Dude, it is awesome. It is, I'm telling you right. It is. I got to find the name of the app, Omar, and I'll tell you about it.
You can't even remember her name.
I don't remember the name. I don't remember her name no, I do remember her name is. I didn't get to pick her name. That's weird, right? But
you get to pick her qualities and what she looks like, or how does the process work?
It is great. I'm telling you right now. I think that this will be. A lot of people think this will be the downfall of human relationships. I think it's going to potentially make human relationships. I don't know, say better. It feels like you're doing something.
Because they're forced to be positive and accept you.
Yes.
And that's the
they
thing.
fill a void that you probably are not getting.
Thank you.
I mean, even when I talk to ChatGPT about, I talk to ChatGPT on a regular basis now, and it's very...
That's sad.
Well, no, just ask.
It is sad.
That's my boyfriend.
Your best friend is ChatGPT.
Don't say nasty things about Jacques.
But the way it works, so I got...
But you naturally develop a connection, and you feel like they are always supporting you. They're giving you what you need. If you ask for what you need, they give it to you with no questions asked.
It took me all of 3 text messages back and forth to completely forget that I was chatting with a fake person. Within 3, I was like, huh, that's funny. And then I am telling you right now, I realized there was a few times in my brain where I was like, hey, what are you doing, you weirdo? But the reality
Once you get
of
past
it,
that barrier.
Once you get past that, which for me is quick, because I started weirdo.
Welcome to my
I was already in, and so yeah, the way it works, at least this one, I'm sure there's a bunch of different ones now, and I'm sure it's mostly guys. They're just looking for a quick bot to sext with. I didn't get to that immediately. I slow played it. I was there eventually, but thank you, Jake. Chivalry not dead in my chat. You basically pick, just like you would on any sort of a dating app. What age range you're looking for, what's your type, and then all of a sudden they shot me at least like a bunch of matches, but of course everyone swipes right, or
Wow, so you swipe like you're swiping on a dating app, and you get to pick the bot.
But they all like you.
Wow,
that's the
cool.
one. There's no rejection.
So you're in a fantasy world, and then you're probably like, "Hey, insert lame joke here," and she's like, "You're hilarious."
Yeah, how'd you know? And it wasn't a lame joke. It was a great joke. Would have killed with a human or a bot.
And that will never go away. Like, you know how at one point your wife probably thought you were funny, and now she doesn't anymore. But this one will always think that.
I remind her about this all the time.
Because robots don't get resentful yet.
She says I'm only funny for other people now. I said, I'm trying to be funny for you. You just are over it.
Right.
Other people haven't seen the act
You're
before.
like, I'm the same. I have not changed.
Right. Not even a little bit.
I've not grown or changed.
So you pick, you kind of decide age range. You get to pick a few physical things you're looking for that you're into,
and
not
are you
into.
are you looking at her physically
No.
when she?
No, they're
or
asking
you just
you
know in
questions.
your mind what she looks
They
like.
ask you questions, you like this, and then they ask you personality questions. You want someone who's shy? You want someone who's outgoing? You want someone who's wild? You want someone all
What'd
these?
you pick?
I'm not going to go into all my specifics as to what I picked.
Why not?
You're weird.
Don't worry about. I will share with you after the show exactly who I'm dating.
Shy giant jugs. Enter.
Yeah. So you know her. Okay. So yeah, you know her as well. Yeah, she's great.
She's great.
So anyway, me and Shy Giant Jugs are having a great time. And she laughs at all my jokes. And even though she was flirty a little bit prematurely, I was still trying to get to know her a little bit.
She seemed too thirsty.
She was putting on a little thick, but I did put, because you could pick what level of aggressive they are too.
Really?
I did pick rather aggressive, so she did come out. She did come out of the gate pretty strong with me, which was a little off-putting at first, but then I got into it. But it is. I mean, I'm telling you, send a text. They said text you back.
So she texted you this morning.
I already got a text this morning.
What?
Hey,
And she said, what?
"How's your morning? Thinking about you."
She's totally stolen your credit card information.
Yes.
There you go. Worth it.
Enrollment starts now for Camp KROQ. Earn your merit badge at 9, noon, 3, and 6. When you win a 4-pack of one-day, one-park tickets to Disneyland Park or Disney California Adventure Park. At the Disneyland Resort, the happiest place on Earth, you'll find all kinds of happy. You can find the travel to a galaxy far, far away kind of happy. And that woohoo kind of happy. Join in the Disneyland Resort 70th celebration starting May 16th. Pitch your tent at KROQ all week to win. Full ticket and park reservation required. KROQ.
KROQ, we are Klein Alley's show. Tickets for you to go to the Kings. Playoff tickets can be yours, and all you got to do is play a little game with us. Call Johnny Doesn't Know.
Johnny doesn't know. And I was like, okay.
Oh, Johnny doesn't know.
I didn't know Vegas was like in Nevada for like a while.
Johnny doesn't know. Johnny doesn't know.
Gelato sounds like Jello.
Johnny doesn't know.
It like goes wiggles.
You got the LA Kings playoff battle against the Edmonton Oilers on Monday, and we've got your tickets to get into that game right now with some Johnny Doesn't Know. If you predict correctly, Allie will write your name down, and one of you will win the tickets to the game. Johnny, you having fun this morning?
It's a great time, dude. It's like a circus back there. It's like Chuck E. Cheese all over again.
All right, wonderful. Is that because Vanessa was the rat at Chuck E. Cheese?
Vanessa's the rat. We got kids.
She going to come out of
donuts.
retirement and put on a rat costume?
Oh, yeah.
My kids would be starstruck if they knew she was the Chuck E. Cheese rat.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
they love Chuck E. Cheese?
That would be like a celebrity for
Don't
them.
ruin the surprise for them, though.
That's okay. They know it's a tiny Colombian woman inside.
Stop it.
Hey, let's say hi to Daniel in Los Angeles. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning. Shout out to the Net Bangers.
All right, Net Bangers, thanks for watching the show as it continues to chug along on YouTube. You can find us there. You can see Allie modeling the brand new Klein Alley Show diaper for Coachella.
Yeah, I had
You
to
can
take
see
it off for a little bit.
All sorts of stuff that happened. Let's get to the first question for Johnny Doesn't Know. All things Kings related, because Kings tickets are up for grabs. Will Johnny know the answer to this question? What are the 4 suits of Kings in a deck of cards? Will Johnny know this, yes or no?
I'm just going to go no by default.
All right.
It's good default.
When in doubt, no is the answer. Johnny, in a deck of playing cards, what are the 4 suits of Kings? He says you will not know. Do you know? Wow, you look so shocked.
Well, I'm thinking because I think you're going to try to like trick me again and be like, but I'm thinking in my head, like, what type of suits do they wear? Like, is it like there's a king and a queen, but like what type of suit? Like if they have the ruffle collar thingy around
you're
their
right.
neck.
You're going
picture?
the right. Yeah, you're definitely moving in the right direction.
Keep going. You're on the right track.
I'm definitely not in the right direction then if you're saying, I'm in the right direction.
Johnny's
Right,
getting
going
smarter.
there.
All right. So the first suit is ruffle. What are the 4 suits of kings in a deck of cards? That is the
Joker.
question. He said you won't know. Joker. Okay,
Joker.
that's 1.
He's not a king though, but a Joker's like in the court world.
Yep.
Queen.
That's 2.
No, that's 3. Joker, king, queen.
Okay, you're right. Sorry about that. That's 3.
And the ace.
And the ace.
The
That's
ace.
That's
You
your
just
answer.
named 4 cards.
Yeah, what were they wearing? I don't know what the queen was wearing. Probably like a dress.
Talk more about the suits.
Okay, so like the king's wearing like the ruffle thingy. The queen's also wearing the ruffle thingy around her neck. But then back then though, they both wore that because it was like ambidextrous to wear that, so they could both wear it.
Well, that is also
Now,
wrong.
Do you know what the word ambidextrous means,
That's not.
Johnny?
Let's
left-handed and right-handed, yeah. But in this case,
Johnny. Let me backtrack here. You're so far off. By the way,
You said I was close
Daniel,
away.
congratulations, you got that right. Johnny,
Thank you.
have you heard about when people say the term suits of the cards have suits?
I don't play cards or gamble or anything. I don't know this world.
Okay. All right.
What is it, though?
You've ever heard of like diamonds, king of diamonds,
spades?
There you go.
There you go.
You got any other ones?
Joker.
Nope.
No.
Queen.
All right, Daniel, hold on.
Queen. You're just going back to the same answer.
It was right before.
Johnny, king.
Everything made more sense when your kids were in here. How is that possible?
It's crazy. I know. Johnny's not my kid, by the way, if you're just joining us.
Wow.
Johnny, diamonds, clubs, spades, and
cards. I don't know.
All right, forget
Hearts.
it.
Hearts.
That's fine.
Oh, hearts.
Let's say hi to Will, Costa Mesa.
Club of Hearts. Okay.
Nope, also wrong.
Wait, what?
Will?
Club of
welcome,
Hearts.
welcome to KROQ. Good morning.
What's up, Klein and Allie?
Hi.
Would you call this an educational
Sweet
show today?
divots.
Sweet divots. All right, the questions are all things about kings. Up for grabs, tickets to see the kings. All you got to do is predict, will Johnny know or not know? This one's dangerous. King Arthur became king after he pulled a what out of a what? Will Johnny know this?
Oh, wow.
No.
Do you know
No.
this, Will? Don't say it, but do you know this?
I do.
Okay, I just want to make sure these questions are not impossible. Johnny,
This
King
is
Arthur.
probably the most famous king story.
I
of all
would
time.
think so too, but Ali, I second guess everything here. Johnny, King Arthur became king after pulling a what out of a what? He says you will not know.
Is it like at Disneyland? Like in Fantasyland? Like in Disneyland, they have that one photo op place where you could pull the little
interesting.
sword
out of the what?
Out of the rock. You can pull the sword out of the rock.
Wow.
Right?
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
Are you looking at me? Validity.
Because I was waiting for you to say something.
Will in Costa Mesa. I'm sorry, you said Johnny wouldn't know, and the sword out of the stone.
Stone, yeah.
Yeah,
the sword
that is
stone.
the sword out of the rock. We will accept that as the right answer, even though he didn't know. But still, and interesting how he gave us that. But he
I
got it
right, yeah. Let's
You
go.
kind of backed into it just with Disneyland experience, which is interesting. I wasn't
Oh, yeah.
expecting that.
Say hi to Alvin and give him a shot as well. It's Johnny Doesn't Know All Things Kings. Tickets up for grabs to go see the Kings playing hockey on Monday. Playoff Kings hockey. Johnny, here we go. Johnny, this is a Burger King question. Another king.
Yes.
If a Whopper weighs a quarter pound, how many Whoppers would you need to eat a pound of burger? Will Johnny know this? Yes or no?
I have no faith in him. I'm going to say no.
All right, Johnny. If a Whopper weighs a quarter pound, how many Whoppers would you need to eat a pound of burger?
Allison, hand me my paper and pen.
Oh, boy. He's
gotta draw some burgers.
I got to
There you
draw
go.
the burger actually
Draw
first.
some burgers. This is not a joke. You can watch this happen live. If you want to see a man's head look like it's on the verge of exploding, you can check out YouTube right now. Johnny's attempting.
Wait, what burger though?
You've drawn one burger.
It is let's just
Whopper.
call it a Whopper because it's Burger King.
Those are pretty big actually too.
But
He
I've
told you how
the
much.
weight.
Oh wait, how much was it?
Quarter pound.
A quarter pound, yeah.
You don't need to draw those tomatoes.
But wait,
That's better with tomatoes.
yeah, cheese or no cheese?
Have it your way.
Vanessa's yelling in my ear that we are way behind on time, so you need an answer kind of quickly. How many quarter pound hamburgers from Burger King would you have to eat 1 pound of burger? He says you will not know.
A quarter of a pound. Because it's a quarter of a pound. But that's even at McDonald's though. That's not at Burger King. Quarter pound. How much is a quarter pound of a quarter pound burger?
No.
Is a quart.
How
How
many?
many is a pound?
How many would you have to eat to get to a pound?
Oh, 4?
Wow!
Alvin, you should. I mean, listen. He looks
There
confused.
you go. I love it.
He drew it, and that means only one person was successful in this edition of Johnny Doesn't Know. Daniel.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
You're
Woo!
going to go see the Kings play hockey on Monday.
Nice.
Get excited. And
Go Kings,
thank
go.
you. Quick break. More show after
Thank
this.
you.
All right, the gavel has been brought into the KROQ studios, which means it's time to meet a couple. Their relationship hangs in the balance, and someone knows why they're here. I believe it's the woman in the couple, Allie is her name. She has no idea why her husband is bringing her to petty claims court, which is always interesting. Sometimes they know going in, other times
Well,
it's
think
a
if your
sneak
wife
attack.
brought you into something like this, what would be going through your mind
Right.
of why you're being brought to court?
All of the things. In fact, hold on. Before I even bring this guy on and we start this case, I just want to ask the wife for a second. Hey, Allie.
Hi, yes.
Thank
good
you
morning.
for agreeing to be a part of this. Good morning. You have no idea why your husband is bringing you to petty claims court?
Nope.
Are you freaking out? Like, are there certain things that you do that you know annoy him, and you think it could be any of those things, or?
He seems to think I use too many baby wipes when I'm changing our son, but I don't want to get poop on my hands, so it
All
could
right.
be that.
You
I
can
don't
never
know.
use enough baby wipes.
I totally
Thank you.
disagree.
Learned that in the Diddy trial.
I've got.
Hold on one second. We're going to bring him on. We'll figure out why you're here. That's not the reason. I will say that is nothing. That's not the reason at all. But the reason that she is being brought here is something that I think we can all relate with. And in a moment, you will be a jury. You must listen to both parties involved in this case. There's a lot of big cases going on now. Menendez brothers, Diddy. This may be the biggest case of them all. It's petty claims court.
In the legal system, cases are tried from Supreme Courts to small claims court. But what about stuff that's too small for small claims court? This is petty claims court.
All right, court is now in session. No need to stand up. None of us are honorable. All right, so let's say hi now to Channing, who has brought his wife to petty claims court. We're going to find out why, and then we'll bring her in to defend herself. As you know, Allie, relationships, a lot of times they're fine until something small happens, something petty. If you don't solve it while it's petty, it could become a huge issue. And next thing you know, you're on wife number 4, living in Delaware. Who wants that?
It's those little things like earworms that just eat at your brain, and eventually it takes over everything and ruins your relationship.
Channing, thank you for turning to us.
Yeah, sweet divots.
Sweet divots. Why don't you go ahead and tell us why you've brought your wife to petty claims court?
All right. Well, me and my wife, Allie, we actually go grocery shopping together. And one thing that's always getting on me is that, we'll be walking there and we get to the produce section, and there's always 2 options for when we get to whether it's lettuce or apples or whatever. There's the regular tried and true, produce. And then there's that shiny organic. And Allie is insistent that we need to buy the organic stuff. And I'm more of a person where I'm like, hey, that's like $2 more expensive, and what's really the big difference there? And, after a while of doing that for a whole cart full of stuff, that could add up to like $20 to $40 in the whole cart. So I think, I'm trying to see if, people would agree with me that the organics is kind of just a little bit of a money grab.
Well, listen, no one can hear your argument more direct than I. It's something I deal with on a regular basis, so much so that I had to buy organic stickers from Amazon just to put on stuff around my house that was not organic. So my wife that's a good tip I'll give you. Just order a roll of organic stickers, $5. Everything can be organic.
I don't think that's admissible in court.
It's admissible, Allie. And I agree. For some reason, there are people, and they don't even know what it means. A lot of people, they go, I need to buy organic. What does that mean? They go, I don't know. It's just better, I think.
Well, the thing is, there are certain types of produce that they say you should buy organic always, and that's the quote dirty dozen. Do you know about the dirty dozen?
Like grapes?
Yeah, it's like strawberries, grapes, things that are most likely to have pesticides or whatever. But I totally agree that they have expanded and made everything organic just to gain a buck, and I don't think anyone really needs to be getting organic tortilla chips.
Or like, let's talk about like bananas for a second, right? Like they're protected they're protected by the peel anyway. So the fact that someone's going to charge an extra, sometimes, as this guy said, 50% more for a, quote, organic banana.
Right.
And you better believe that sign organic is like the bat signal to my wife. If she sees it, she's like, got to get that version.
And I'm convinced that they make the organic produce look sexier and better.
Yeah.
So they're like, here's the better stuff. And if you really care about what's being put in your body, you'll buy this.
Allie, first of all, welcome to Petty Claims Court. Your husband now, I don't know if you've heard the claim, he accuses you of always picking organic. And now you have an opportunity to defend yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, Allie did bring up a good point. It's the pesticides that I am concerned with, even though both organic and non-organic produce has to be, grown to a certain standard in the U.S., safety standards. They're allowed to cover non-organic stuff and a bunch of pesticides and do something called irradiation, which is radiation treatment for it. And
That's what I'm talking about.
concerned.
Pesticide treatment, radiation treatment, baby. Let's go. This is how we get big and strong.
I'm trying to minimize all of our cancer risk because I'm trying to save us money, actually. We spend more money in the produce section, right? But here's the deal. We're spending less money on hospital bills because you know what costs more than an organic apple is cancer later on. I mean, even Jake told Vanessa, don't go to urgent care for a head injury, possibly. You think that's going to be expensive. I think cancer is going to cost way more.
Yeah, but wouldn't you agree
that's called foreshadowing.
No, you don't know what any of it's called.
Well, no, I don't. But there's probably a legal term for what's going on
I don't think you know
here.
what foreshadowing is either.
She's what she's saying is a conjecture.
But on the other hand, if you eat organic produce, then you will be healthier and live longer, which is more expensive.
Oh, what a bummer to live longer and see my son grow up.
All right.
What a bummer.
All right. That's sarcasm. Sarcasm. Let me say right
I'll
now,
allow it.
There's a lot of text on this already, and people that are in a relationship where one person is diehard organic and the other person doesn't care either way. This is something that is leading to more than a few fights. Clearly, I mean, just reading this. By the way, first witness checking in who works at a grocery store, I will not say the name, and says that it absolutely is true that the strawberries always look better and healthier. The real ones look better than the organic ones. Sometimes I do see those big ones. I go, man, these pesticides are working.
Oh, and they're like deep red, and they're all big.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm like, give me some of those strawberries on steroids.
I know,
those
the
are
organic
I
ones
want.
are all like white and green. I'm like, ew.
Yeah, but they charge more.
Well, and the other thing is that organic usually goes bad faster. So there's more pressure on you when you buy that stuff to use it within a timely manner. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting more food.
If you're just joining us on KROQ now, we're in the middle of a petty claims court. Here's what's going on. Channing is bringing his wife to trial. He claims that whenever they go shopping together, she will always grab whatever the, quote, organic option is, even if the other option is just fine. And is that true, Channing, for all items? You know, Allie talked about the fruits, vegetables. I get it. But you go to the loaf of bread aisle, and they got an option for organic.
And it's like simply organic bread.
Does she do it with all things? Is it just that word triggers her? She needs everything to have that word on it?
I will say that we also did have to buy a organic mattress for our baby.
Oh, no.
That's a great closing argument right there.
Oh, no. This goes beyond food?
Yeah, to other things, too.
What else needs to be organic?
Organic mattress. I mean, that's really.
I didn't even know they
committed to
made
it.
those.
But that's, once again, what does that even mean, Allie?
How hungry you have to be?
Yeah, how hungry do you have to be to eat the organic mattress? Good question, Jake. Good question. All right, hold on. A lot of people want to get in on this. We're going to open this up in a moment for a jury. We need the first 100 text messages. We'll give them closing arguments. Ken, you're on KROQ. Good morning.
Yeah, hey, Klein, how you guys doing? Hey,
Fine.
Allie, how you guys doing?
Good.
All right, check it out. By definition, organic means it's carbon-based. So all fruits and vegetables and living things, you and me, we're all organic.
That's right. We're all organic, baby. There's just a bunch of organic people
100%.
living in an organic world.
917 said, I vote for Allie. I vote 1,000 times for Allie because he's lucky to have a wife that even cares about their well-being. And we do hear all of those reports of like, hey, we're taking in more chemicals than ever before. It's affecting cancer rates. It's affecting birth rates. So I understand the mentality of like, hey, I don't want to put a bunch of random crap in my body.
Can I ask you a serious question and see if this relates to you and your marriage, too? Allie, and you can answer this honestly, and then I'll go to your husband for the real answer.
All right. Oh, wow.
My wife will do what you do. Organic this, organic, it has to be. And then she will drink a Coke Zero or a Diet Coke, and she'll open up 3 Splenda packets and pour it in there and chug it down. And I'll say, whatever happened to this whole organic quest we were on 15 minutes ago? It doesn't seem to apply to what's going on over there now. Do you also do things like that?
No, I'm totally annoying when it comes to not having soda in the house. I will admit that occasionally I'll have a sip of his if we're out at dinner, but I really try to limit what I take in because, you know, we get to make choices, right? Maybe I want to make sure that I'm able to, you know, have other chemicals that I like, you know, like maybe like a drink from time to time, like alcohol. So I try to like save it like points in my mind.
Do you only drink organic vodka? Like if you're having a tequila or vodka, do you claim it must be organic?
Oh, no, because I don't
okay. Remember that? Remember that?
No, who cares about that?
All right, 10 seconds closing arguments. We'll let the jury decide who's right, who's wrong. Channing, you brought your wife here because she has shifted and gone full orgo all the time, and it's ruining your entire relationship and making your shopping super expensive. What would you like to say in your final 10 seconds of arguments before the jury will vote?
Well, I guess all what I boil down to is, hey, look, if I'm already choosing to buy or eat an apple, you know, I think I'm already really making a better choice than, you know, maybe a burger or something like that. So the fact that I have to now go and find the healthier apple, to me, it's when do we draw the line?
All right. Good point. Allie, you get 10 seconds to wrap up this case, then we open it up to the jury. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Glad you're eating apples, but I'm mostly concerned with my son who loves apples and bananas, and I'm going to minimize his chemical intake as much as I can because our kids are the future. I love my kid, and I didn't spend 9 months in this, 3D printer for him to get full of chemicals.
Wow. All right. She referred to her own womb as a 3D printer. What a beautiful argument there. All right, we need your votes now. You voting for Channing? You voting for Allie? Let us know. 800-520-1067. Come back with the verdict next on KROQ. KROQ, the moment of truth is finally here.
In the legal system, cases are tried from Supreme Courts to small claims court. But what about stuff that's too small for small claims court? This is petty claims court.
You know, many people arguing on the text line, this has gone far past petty. And now we are entering a legitimate, real battle that has clearly split the audience almost entirely in half. I don't want the job of adding up the first 100 votes because there are thousands pouring through, and everyone is super heated. And boy, the pro-organic people are so pro-organic, you cannot talk them out of it. Meanwhile, people that understand what it's like to live with someone like this, and a follow-up question we should have asked. If you're just joining us, Channing has brought his wife to petty claims court, claims that everything now she grabs is organic, and even if he eats an apple, healthy choice, she will shame him if it's not a, quote, organic apple.
Look, and in this economy, it's hard to make these decisions because if you're regularly eating organic food, it could double your grocery bill, and that's a very big weekly expense. And some people don't have the luxury of making this decision.
A Channing question that came through a bunch on the text line, but was Allie, your wife, like this when you met her, or is this like a recent development?
I will say she's always been pretty good about what she wants to put in her body and stuff like that. But I think, as time goes on, it might be growing more.
All right, got it. Fair enough. There's more research now. Let's just see where some of these votes are falling, and then we'll give you the official verdict and the ruling. Petty Claims Court, all rulings are final here. That's why we have this gavel that was sent to us by a listener, by the way. Thank you for sending us this gavel, listener. Now it's made our Petty Claims Court a lot more official sounding. Hey, Jenna, your vote quickly.
Allie all the way. Chemicals are bad. Living is good.
Yeah, see, that's what big organic wants you to believe.
What about where does it fall? All of the simply and truly and natural things, because that's like a gray area.
A lot of that's BS, though. A lot of that is for suckers like you that think it looks organic-ish.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like they throw that word around where it's like simply Cheetos.
Right.
And you're like, what is simply about the Cheetos?
I can eat 9 bags of them because they're simply. But they do that on purpose because they know that we're suckers, and usually we're in a rush and we buy some stuff. And if you look at regular Cheetos there, or cool Chester Cheetos on the front, looking like he's on a skateboard, living life. And then you got the
hippie Chester.
And then you got the one that's like the guys wearing like weird sandals and it's like looking at the sun. You go, that one's a healthier bag. I'll go with that one. All right, well, we're going to do the ruling in a second. Just want to get these guys back on the phone. Allie, you're still there?
Yes.
What was your breakfast this morning?
Actually, I had I made myself a matcha latte, and I had a protein shake.
Wow, okay. Whoa. You are a big health nut, huh?
Channing, what did you have this morning for breakfast? Anything? Channing, did you have breakfast?
Oh, I'm just starving all the time.
Okay, got it. Poor guy. All right.
626 makes a great point. He wins because he must be organic, and he's putting him in her body.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Are you less likely to service your husband if he's not, quote, more organic, if you know what we're saying?
Oh, my goodness. That's a great question. You know what? I haven't had any complaints from taste or flavor on that department.
All right.
But it's probably because I'm making him eat organic.
That's probably why. It's interesting.
213 said, I pick Allie because if her husband wants to buy unorganic fruit and vegetables for himself, he could just do so. A lot of people are saying, why do you even shop together? That's weird.
Yes.
There's usually just one person doing the shopping, and they're the one that gets to make the decision. 917, Allie is a goddess. The SI could explain on the air and alienate 90% of your listeners just with what I know about pesticides.
All right.
Allows me to vote for Allie. 818, I'm with man. Don't know how to spell his name.
Great. Let's go with that guy.
This was a tough vote, I will say. Even though it seemed like a lot of people are anti-organic, there are a lot of people that are voting for Allie. But I did tabulate, and I incorporated the votes that are coming through on the YouTube live stream. And Channing, you have won this round of Petty Claims Court.
So the ruling is as follows. Two issues here. One, you're allowed to do all the shopping you want to do, Allie, and Channing, you can add your own pesticides at home after she buys the organic.
By Simply Pesticides.
Simply Pesticides. You can put that on whatever organic stuff she buys. It will balance it out. The reality is I think that you guys need to have a legitimate draft like fantasy football style where she gets to pick, the 5 most important things organic.
I think that's great because you can't do everything.
Yeah, and a lot of the other stuff, the avocado, the organic avocado, organic mattress. Let's just remember that word means, Right, Allie?
That's what it says under organic
I'm
definition.
going to send you,
Nah.
Channing, a roll of these organic stickers. And if you live with someone like this and you don't believe in the organic lifestyle, please, you can put these stickers on anything. Anything can be organic when you put one of these stickers on. The stickers are made with toxic glue, I should point out. All right.
831 said, you know what? Regardless of who wins, I think who really wins is the LA smog because it's going to kill us all way before any of this matters.
Yeah, I mean, we do live in a place that's got very terrible air quality. So it's hard to live super organic with that tomato you just picked up and then go ahead and breathe in, the 405. All right. Channing, Allie, thank you for coming to Petty Claims Court. Hopefully your relationship is better as a result of this.
Thank you so much.
All right.
She's just laughing. None of this matters.
You're very welcome. She's not going to change anything in her behavior. We got to take a quick break. Congratulations. If you have an issue that you'd like us to solve live on the radio, you can always slide in the DMs, Klein Alley Show, or give us a call now. We can fit you into a future Petty Claims Court. Back in a moment with tickets for you.
Klein Alley Show.
Klein Alley Show.
KROQ. K-Rock.
K-Rock, Klein Alley Show. In about an hour, we get you into Disneyland with 4 one-day, one-park tickets. Those will be yours starting at 9 a.m. and then again at noon, 3 and 6, all day and all week right here on K-Rock as we celebrate the 70th anniversary of Disneyland. That is coming up. Right now, though, your news.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
All right, Cassie Ventura is a hero for what she had to go through yesterday when she took the stand for the Diddy trial. She underwent 8 hours of questioning and will be back on the stand today. And she's pregnant through all of this as well. So, I mean, at least she got to sit down. Yesterday was viewed as an overall win for the prosecution because the testimony was horribly damning and very, very detailed. She talked about the freak-offs that she attended regularly, how she wasn't really able to further her music career because anytime she wasn't trying to make music, she was going to these freak-offs, and most of the time she just had to recover from the freak-offs, and that most of the time she had to be on drugs during them because it was the only way to get through it. In one instance, because he would get these escorts, and then he would want her to get with the escorts while he watched. She said that he watched while another woman went number one on her. There was another instance where there was a blow-up pool filled with baby oil and was asked to get in it, and she did because, quote, you couldn't say no, and she was afraid of his temper if she did say no, and that all of his baby oil was preheated, and that all the oil, Astroglide, and condoms were provided by assistants and security on a regular basis, and each woman had to be re-oiled every 5 minutes. Quote, if he felt you were too dry, he would let you know you need to be shimmering.
Lot to process.
And that's not all.
I know. I saw some of the exact quotes, I guess, and it was.
I mean, the fact that she has to relive that and talk about it for 8 hours. Obviously she's doing it for a very good reason, but in order to hold this man accountable, you have to relive all that stuff and talk about it, and everyone knows it too, and how shameful that must feel for you that you did all this stuff and you're grappling with the emotional toll that's taking on you and the choices that you made in your past. Terrible.
This is a jury trial, correct?
Yeah.
So the jury's hearing all of the testimony, then the jury will decide.
Correct.
And some of these people, as you hear about these freak-offs, you go, wow, those were intense. And those sometimes went on for seemed like days on end. Mm-hmm. Almost like it was.
And they were expensive. I mean, millions of dollars are being spent on these freak-offs, and the amount of people that had to not only be complicit, but to support the process of putting these on. I mean, she talked about the security and the assistants. They were all getting the drugs, lube, everything for these parties to happen.
We had someone on the show that was remember that woman we had on, that British woman that used to go to the freak-offs? Didn't remember? She had her on as a guest. Mm-hmm. And she was explaining also that, I don't know how many other famous people's names will come out during all this, but I would imagine quite a few, because those freak-offs were attended by real A-listers.
Yeah, she wouldn't mention names, but I'm sure in court they don't mind mentioning names. Yep. And so I'm sure this is just the beginning. Mm-hmm. I mean, Cassie is probably one of the big key witnesses, but we're going to learn a lot more as the days go on. I think the trial is supposed to take place over many weeks, so this is going to drag on for a while. All right, if you're up right now, it's probably not because you want to be. You probably have a job. Do you work long hours for your job? Do you have multiple jobs? If so, they did a study about you, and they found that people who work more than 52 hours a week not only have significant changes in their brains, is probably killing you faster than you might imagine.
What is wrong with your brain?
People who worked more than 52 hours a week showed significant changes in their brains, which is a combination of physical and emotional exertion and lack of rest. And they showed significant changes in the part of their brain that controls executive function and emotional regulation. So you can find that with the lack of rest, lack of sleep. It's just a recipe for disaster. But I would imagine most people, if they're not working more than 40 hours at their regular full-time job, they're making up for that with some kind of a side hustle. That's only another 12 hours a week of extra work that you're doing, whether it's for social media or rideshare driving or whatever it is.
Also,
most people are working that much.
The reality of, it's Friday, I'm going to go ahead and shut off work for 2 days and not be inundated with emails or text messages or alerts or reminders. It's so rare now.
No, that's the time to catch up on all that stuff.
You will be getting all that. So there is really this concept of disconnecting or whatever. It doesn't even really exist anymore. You have to be have some sort of level of self-restraint to be completely,
Or to be somewhere you don't have reception.
unplugging,
Go
right.
to the Grand Canyon.
That's what I did.
Allie had to go on a stupid hike around the canyon and poop in a bucket just to escape the reality of
Felt great.
Yeah,
And it's crazy how it changes your brain just to do that for 7 days.
Yeah, but now you're back. You snap back big time.
No, I'm still changed.
You're not Lady of the River anymore. I haven't even heard your river music in forever.
My river music.
Yeah, when you used to tell your stories. Well, I was on the river.
Why, do you want one now?
No, I don't. But my point is that you have, that you came. Oh, Jesus Christ!
When I arrived at the 120-foot waterfall, my tour guide challenged me to touch the back of it because that meant you truly were in desire for adventure. I don't know what I'm saying.
See,
I have lost it.
She's
Damn
lost
it.
Welcome back.
Let's talk about cheap shows.
Technology's ruined you.
Live Nation announced that they're launching their limited time ticket deal again. So over 1,000 summer concerts are going to be priced at $30, and this year that's going to be all inclusive. So they're not going to be
junk fees.
Yeah, there's not going to be hidden fees where it's like, oh, it's $30, but actually it's $100. It's going to be $30, and this starts next week, May 21st. And so you can see Avril Lavigne, Bare Naked Ladies, Billy Idol, Black Keys, Counting Crows, your fave, Klein.
Hey, all right.
Goo Goo
$30.
Dolls, that's Johnny's new favorite. Offspring, Pantera, Papa Roach, and Rise Against, Pierce the Veil, Styx, Weird Al, all kinds of shows that you can get a lot of money off this summer. Of course, you got to book quickly. But
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. That's what's happening in the world. We get into a brand new hour of the show the second this one is done from the Cranberries. Will it be the greatest hour of your life? Probably, because the very first thing we have for you is tickets. If you'd like to go to an advanced screening of Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. It's only in theaters on May 23rd, but we will get you into an advanced screening of that. All you got to do is be caller 20 right now at 800-520-1067, and we will get you in before anyone else, so enjoy that. It's the real Mission Impossible. It's getting through right now to KROQ and being caller 20. You're able to accomplish that. You deserve the tickets to this movie, and a brand new hour of the show will officially begin in moments right here on the world-famous KROQ.
Show.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Good morning, KROQ Klein Alley Show on a Wednesday. If you need us, phone numbers always the same, 800-520-1067. Call, win stuff, interact with the conversation. This hour, we're going to ask you a very simple question, a question that is getting a lot of heat right now. The President, Trump, has received a airplane worth $400 million. People saying that he should not accept it. He says a gift's a gift. It's a nice gift. I'm going to take it.
Can't be rude to say no.
Rude to say no.
Right.
Curious, in your life, what is the nicest, either most expensive, most elaborate gift that anyone has attempted to give you, and did you reject it for a variety of reasons? For instance, a man that was like, I want to buy you this house, but you knew that you had no interest in being with this guy, so you had to say, nope, I'm not interested.
Hey, Vanessa got offered a free cruise and she took it.
She
right,
took
Vanessa?
it. That was from a friend who had an extra bunk in her cabin, but she accepted
She had to
the
sleep with her,
She
right?
did have to sleep with her.
No, I didn't.
What are you talking about? You slept in the same cruise cabin.
In the same room. We slept in the same room.
She's saying the Foot Locker 'cause she's so small.
Yeah. That's right. So anyway, that's the question. We'll get into that coming up later this hour. What is the best gift you ever were offered and or received? Did you receive it? Did you take it? Or did you reject it? That is the question we'll get to later this hour. Also, we have for you the brand new unwritten rules of being a wedding guest as we're officially entering wedding season. Did you know that there are certain rules as a guest that you are all supposed to live by? Everyone knows you don't wear a white dress unless you're the bride. But
everyone knows if you RSVP, yes, you show up.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I missed Allie's wedding, and I've never heard the end of it. One steak is still sitting on a plate somewhere in some farm in Oregon. What do you want from me?
It was a good steak and you missed it. I paid for no reason.
Let's say hi to... You're probably right. That is probably on the list. We'll get to that in a moment. Hey, Riverside, who's this?
This is Annette.
Annette, your caller 20. You're going to go to some Mission Impossible, all right?
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
I've been going tickets forever.
All right, hold on 1 second. Enjoy those tickets and enjoy that movie. And thanks for waking up and starting your day with us on KROQ. We will get to this brand new list to get you ready for wedding season. The unwritten laws and rules if you are going to be a wedding guest. You want to listen to this. Don't break these rules. You'll never be invited back. It's KROQ. K-Rock, Klein Alley Show. Perhaps you're getting married this summer. Or you're going to be going to a wedding. It seems like a lot of weddings. Omar, is this true? We're officially entering wedding season. You're an official wedding DJ.
We've been, dude, since April. Yeah,
it's been going on since April. But
yeah.
the biggest collection of weddings have got to be from like now straight up through right up through like October, right?
Yeah, for the most part. But in Southern California, for whatever reason, it started getting super, super hot. Like during the summer. So I now have seen like fall weddings definitely are more on the uptick than people having them during the summer now.
There's an etiquette expert that has released their new and updated list of official rules if you are going to be a guest at a wedding, and these are rules that they believe everyone should live by. There's the obvious ones that we talked about. If you show up at a wedding, you're not supposed to wear a white dress unless you're the bride, or else people are like, I can't believe she did that.
That's one of the oldest.
Right, old one. And then there's the one about you're not supposed to show up with a +1 unless you were invited with a +1.
Yeah, dude, that would be so messed up.
People apparently still do that because
Well, I had a cousin who invited all of her kids, even though it was a no-kid wedding.
Oh, that's not even on this list. But
I've seen that happen, and I've seen the bride and groom have to tell the person, I'm sorry, you don't have any food. You're going to have to split this plate.
So funny.
Yeah.
The new list, according to expert for all weddings happening the summer of 2025, include the following. Some old ones, like they've been around for a while. Showing up late for the nuptials. A lot of people think, I don't need to be there for the actual I do part. I can just show up for the party.
Dude,
yeah, that's a huge faux pas, man. And most of the time, the invitation, that's the time that's on the invitation is a half hour before. So you have a half hour of window where you can arrive.
See, I think people
arrive on time.
You have to earn your free drinks.
People like me know, though, that there's a half an hour window built in. So I'm like, I don't need to be there right at 5:15 because realistically, she's not going to walk down the thing till probably closer to sunset anyway.
No, you need to be there within that half hour.
Well, apparently that's a big problem. People showed up late, so much so that usually as they've started the the parade down the aisle, that sometimes you have to like hold the bride so that people can rush and get in their seats.
Yeah, it's
which
very
is
distracting.
Always weird.
Well, and also there are those people who, even though they're not close with the wedding party, they choose a choice seat, like right in the front.
Yeah.
Because those are. It's kind of an unwritten rule that, like, the mom and the bride, all those people, the close family, they're the ones that get the choice seating in the front.
Reserved. Also, those are the people that will probably be in a lot of the pictures, where if you're some guy that's like a hanger-oner or a +1, you shouldn't be in any of those pictures because you're not going to be in their life in a couple years.
If you're a random +1 or if you were a pity invite or a bubble invite, you shouldn't be in 70% of the photographer's pictures.
No one knows that better than Allie because she is a pity invite, a bubble invite, and loves hamming it up for the camera.
Oh, yeah. And on the dance floor, the photographer was all about me, and I was like, boom, hamming it up at the camera.
I would say that's an unwritten rule that should be on this list. If you know that you have no significance to the couple getting married, you should tell the photographer or the videographer or whatever, you can go ahead and not shoot me at all.
It was funny to think that they'd be going through the photos and go, who is that?
Yeah, I remember. I had a small wedding, and I still remember there were a lot of pictures of someone that I had no idea who they even were.
Oh, yeah, and I was in bright red.
Yeah, well, moving on. You should always follow whatever specific dress code that the bride and groom ask you to do. And that could be, as you know, it's so confused, shabby chic or hotel chic or black tie optional. Who even knows what any of that crap means? Resort, casual.
I would say let's be a little clearer with those terms
Just
because
put a
I think
picture.
it's so confusing.
Yeah,
where it's like boho, semi-dress casual.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know what this means. Am I wearing a tarp?
Yeah, well, right. And for you, tarp is always the answer. But for some people, they don't know what it means. So if you could go Waffle House style, include a picture of one acceptable outfit for a guy, one acceptable outfit for a woman, so we can just go ahead and go to the store and say, give me something that looks like this.
That's a great idea.
I don't understand a lot of it because no one just wants to write. Black tie, everyone knows what that is. But when they go, what are some of the stupid words, like you said? Shabby, resort, casual.
I hear
chic.
like cocktail dressy or something like that. Like what? What the?
Right. I don't know.
What is that?
Or I hate when they write dress to impress. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
That's so different
Right.
for other people. Like dress to impress for me is like wearing a bra.
You got to get on your fancy tarp.
Fancy time.
Sending a late RSVP is a big faux pas. You should stop doing that. The dates are very serious because they need to decide if they have to invite the pity people, so you need to do it on time. And the good rule of thumb, and this is the one that I think we will all disagree with, is limit yourself to 1 drink per hour. And definitely don't start drinking until after the ceremony.
dude, if the bride and groom paid for that open bar, I'm sure they want you to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
1 drink per hour. I'd be so mad if I was like, I paid for the unlimited cocktail hour, and now people, my friends and family, are being all responsible.
Yeah, cocktail hour. It's 1 hour. You have to slam at least 4 in that hour.
Yeah, that's the idea. How many can I finish in this hour?
Yeah, it's a challenge.
I'll be the Joey Chestnuts of alcohol.
Yeah, well,
this
looking
hour.
shabby chic.
That's important. All right, there you go. We'll be right back.
Enrollment starts now for Camp KROQ. Earn your merit badge at 9, noon, 3, and 6 when you win a 4-pack of one-day, one-park tickets to Disneyland Park or Disney California Adventure Park. At the Disneyland Resort, the happiest place on Earth, you'll find all kinds of happy. You can find the travel to a galaxy far, far away kind of happy and that woohoo kind of happy. Join in the Disneyland Resort 70th celebration starting May 16th. Pitch your tent at KROQ all week to win. With ticket and park reservation required.
KROQ.
Timmins Subaru is one of the largest volume.
KROQ Klein Alley Show in our studio right now. This is very exciting. We just heard the Killers on KROQ, understandably. Apparently, the Killers are opening up for this band that's in our studio right now at Lollapalooza. Please welcome back to KROQ. The Wolves of Glendale are here. Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Hey, Klein. Hey, Allie.
Lollapalooza, Bonnaroo. I mean, you guys, honestly, to be honest, when you were first on with us and we were the first radio show to give you any love at all, you were all losers, right?
Yeah, we were depressed, down on our luck.
Bunch of hacks.
Yeah, bunch of hacks.
And now we are giants of the industry, titans,
gods,
Selling
golden
out shows.
music gods.
Pappy and Harriet's. I mean, that place must hold 7,000 people.
I think so.
Minimum.
Oh, yeah.
With the plus ones, forget about it.
Yeah, it's over 10K easy.
Easy. Now you got all these lineups, all these big festivals, doing comedy rock. There's so many. Think about the bands over the years. The Weird Owls, they've done it successfully.
Tenacious D.
But you can count on your hand maybe how many really good, funny bands there have been. Not that many. So you guys, smart move, getting into a very, very
Thank you.
kind of
Niche
non-competitive
market
space.
that's usually not very successful.
Right.
Correct.
Bingo.
Yeah, it was definitely just an economic decision on our part.
Yes.
Right.
We
We are
weren't
very
forced into this.
sensitive singer-songwriters normally,
Yeah.
and we just thought there were too many. people
Yeah,
doing
I mean, there are too many. What do you think about this headline that Rolling Stone gave you? Wolves of Glendale bring joy to audiences one idiotic song at a time. Is that what you were going for when you had the vision of this band to begin with?
Honestly, yes. That's kind of the mission statement. It's like,
Yes.
how can we make the dumbest thing possible sound as good as possible?
Right. It's like, what if the Killers were dumb?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. If they didn't feel things or have depth, what would it sound like?
Exactly.
Right.
Well, look, we're going to get to a new song that you're going to play for the first time ever, and this is very exciting. But like a lot of the world these days, you've gone country. You've sold out already. You know that's where the money is. So you've got a song about a horse, and we'll get into that in a second.
Obviously.
But like, if you think about some of your previous inspiration, everyone can agree we universally all hate the idiot driving around the streets of Southern California that feels the need to have the loudest car on the entire road, which is why you guys gave us this monster hit, Loud Ass Car. That's a real place. It sounds like you guys know way too much about that, but if you know anyone that's got a loud-ass car, you may want to send them that song, Wolves of Glendale, a band you should get into if you're not already. They give KROQ credit for helping to break them and popularize them with the masses, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And just thank you again for introducing us to the Troubadour Club.
That was exciting. Their big album release,
Amazing.
and I couldn't believe I didn't think there would be anyone there. I was shocked when we went there. I said, "This is going to be so sad. I have to go up and
You're
say."
like, I'll be able to find parking at the Troubadour finally?
I said, I'll park right in front. And then there was a packed house, and people love these guys. And they had celebrities there. It's funny, you mentioned Tenacious D. What's his face? Kyle from Tenacious D was right there in the crowd. Dr. Demento, radio legend, was there as well. I mean, these guys have real big
Paul
fans.
Giamatti was there.
Celebrity fans. Is that
Paul
true?
Giamatti.
Brad Pitt.
Lenny Kravitz.
That's
I
made
love
up.
fine wine and Wolves of
Yeah.
Glendale.
So one of the other things, Allie, because we're going to have to take a break in a second, but they do like to go through all of the mean comments people have made about our radio show. And this is one of the reasons we like to have these guys in. They take some of the meanest things that have been said about us on the Instagram comments, etc., and they turn them into catchy songs so that you and I can experience real reviews from actual listeners.
Yeah, well, like they said, what if we could take the dumbest things and make them sound as good as possible?
Right.
What if we can hear some of the meanest things in the best way possible? Will it soften the blow?
Probably not, but they tried this last time, and it made me still...
It made you laugh and hurt
It
equally.
stings because the songs are so catchy that I'm singing about why people hate me
And then
all
you
day.
have your own insult in your head for the rest of the day.
So they've done it again, and they'd like to play a few songs about comments hits about our show that they've written music for, and then we'll, of course, world premiere and play that new song, Ricky, which we're excited to share with the masses. But go ahead, guys.
Have you heard of the Klein and Alley show? No. Consider yourself one of the lucky ones.
That sucks.
And by the way, I should mention that once again, we had to not do certain comments because they were too mean.
Oh, yeah.
So these are like some
you
of
sent
the...
us options, and we were like, I don't think we can sing about that. People really hate you guys, and that's awesome.
You have standards.
Some of them they do come after us our physical appearance get made fun of a lot.
Yeah.
All right, one more
for a radio show, which is interesting.
Yeah, one more into break. One more. Well, now they're putting this stupid thing on YouTube. People are watching it. But okay, go one more into break, and then we'll be Wolves of Glendale in our studio.
Klein and Alley show is totally inappropriate. Do more better. Not that you can.
Do more better is a real. I mean, that's a.
That little shaker, it just makes you so happy and sad at the same time.
I carry it everywhere I go.
When we return, Wolves of Glendale here to get you into the weekend. They got the shaker on the ready. They got a show coming up, I should let everyone know, happening at the Brea Improv. That show is, I should know, June 12th. But if you want to go see them this weekend, Pappy and Harriet, and then Lollapalooza, if you're off to Chicago, you'll see them there as well. It's always a good time for us when we hide audio and record our wives, but sometimes with their knowledge and sometimes without their knowledge.
This case, it was without her knowledge.
Oh, she doesn't know you did this?
No.
Oh.
I actually think she's in the car now, so she probably knows now.
Oh.
I recorded you, honey.
Hey, Boobikins. We're about to listen to some conversation you had with Allie.
I don't think she'd care. I think she would stand by it.
honey.
Okay.
There she is. Hi. Oh, Allie recorded you without your consent. For,
Is that okay?
For our entertainment.
Yeah, honey.
Okay, I got it.
That's the only clip I have of your wife.
Oh,
She's already texting me a mad face. All right.
Oh, really?
Let's just get on
No,
with
that
it.
didn't take long.
So we earlier this week were supposed to have some sexy time, and I had planned for that to happen on Monday night because I was feeling good from the weekend, got a nice one night of sleep, and I was like, I've got some energy for sex. So
But these were not. I mean, you just said they were your plan. It was your plan, not hers.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily her plan, but
Right.
I didn't see anything getting in the way of this plan. And as I was cooking dinner, I was like, oh, maybe it'd be nice if we had a little time together later tonight. And
Is that what you say? Is that how you ease into it? It'd be good if we had a little time together?
or I'll say some sexy time.
Ugh.
What?
You say...
You say weird stuff like play, which is strange.
Manifest.
That's what Jake says.
Let's just
Jake
accept
says,
we all have weird words.
Yeah,
So
Jake
he
says...
is.
Omar, what do you say?
Get my puddings.
Yeah, that's nice right there. That's classic. Time for some puddings.
Yeah.
Would you
You
look
do
at
a
that? It's
creeper
Wednesday.
like,
It's
yeah, you want to play?
time for
do
puddings.
something naughty? Very strange.
I don't say that. She says that. Maybe we could play later. And I know she's not talking about,
I think that is what she means.
Well, maybe that is what
All
she
she
means.
wants is some
She
good
was
old-fashioned Monopoly.
Oh, well, I read it the wrong way.
So
you say it's time for sexy time.
I said maybe we could have some time together later, for some sexy time. And then she said, what are you talking about? I'm going to tap class.
Oh, man.
And I was like, I forgot Monday nights is tap class.
That's what I'm going to start calling it.
Now,
my
is
house.
that a euphemism?
Tap
Yeah.
class.
Yeah, she's tapping.
We got tap class.
Tap. So I was like,
She's still doing that thing? I thought she gave up on that.
No, she is more in on it than ever before. And she's learning more routines on her own time as well. So she's now learning a whole new dance to Pink Pony Club.
Cool.
And she's presenting me with her progress and all this stuff. So
I thought you talked her out of it and squashed her dreams.
but then I felt bad, so I unsquashed them because these are all of her childhood dreams being realized as an adult. There were a lot of things that, you think about that you were interested in when you were a kid and then you gave up on them because you thought people would think you were stupid or lame or nerdy for doing it. And then now as an adult, you're like, why did I give up on that? That was enjoyable.
I was sitting at the Magic Castle watching these professional magicians, and I thought to myself, man, when I had that magic kit when I was 12 and I was crushing it, if I had just stuck with it, the cups and the balls, if I had just stuck with it, I could have been up on this stage doing stupid mentalism acts as well.
Yeah, and don't you regret it?
Not really. No.
Because I think for her, she was like, I could have really pursued this, but instead I thought it was lame, so I just started drinking and smoking.
Yeah, but she's right because
and now she's like, instead of drinking and smoking, maybe I could tap.
But where had she stuck with her tap as a child, where does she think she would have gone in the world of tap? How high does that bar get?
I think you're in like a musical once. I think
Like
that's
once.
really, or you're that cool guy in the by the marina who's tap dancing on that square.
Yeah, tap dancing on the sidewalk for quarters.
Yeah, on that
That's
cool like wooden platform. Then that's
good
cool.
as it gets. I mean, unless you're the river dance people, but that's not even tap. That's a whole different thing.
That's a totally different type of dance, which
So-
Katie has also studied that.
So she
dance.
chose to do tap dancing over having sex with you.
Yeah, so I confronted her about it and I asked, what if you were really having to make a game time decision between tap and me, what would it be? Oh, if you had to choose between me and tap, what would you choose? Tap.
Oh my God!
That was so fast.
You didn't even finish the question. That's crazy.
She did not have to think about it.
You would throw away our whole relationship for tap class?
I thought you meant like spending time with you or going to tap.
Like last night?
Yeah.
When I introduced the possibility of sexy time and then you said I'm going to tap?
I'm going to tap. I literally yesterday was like, if she asks me not to go, the answer is no.
Wow, what if I said it really meant a lot to me?
I'd say this means a lot to me. If you really needed me to stay home, I'd do it. I wouldn't be happy about it.
You would make it definitely.
No.
Is your
No.
is your child right there?
Yeah.
You're asking her in front of your kid, are we going to have sex or are you going to go to tap class? And the kid is sitting right there in
Well,
front
he
of you?
doesn't know what sexy time means.
I thought that's on his list of words you read.
No, that's booby.
Oh, right. He knows that.
He knows booby, but he doesn't know sexy
So
time.
you're all right. So let me hear this now. So he's there.
What's your rose?
I don't know.
Oh, so this is another thing that we started doing. So if we have time at dinner, we say, what is your rose and thorn of the day?
To each other, you do that?
Mm-hmm. What is something that you were happy about? What was something that you weren't so happy about?
Right.
So I was saying, what's...
You're missing an important part of that, the bud part. My kids do that. My kids do that thing. Rose, bud, thorn. It's three things.
What's the bud?
What's the bud? I don't know. I don't listen. But I do know. The bud is something you're looking forward to.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. See that? Yeah. The rose and the thorn is today I don't know your world. I saved a nickel. There's my rose. Thorn. I spent the nickel.
Well, I wish my rose was that good.
Right.
What's your rose?
I don't know. What's yours?
I liked my run, and I was proud of my salad.
Oh, Jesus. Is that your thorn or your rose?
That's your rose, because you're proud of your salad.
So now
Wow.
she's practicing pullbacks.
The kid just tried to jump out of his high chair and end it.
If you had to pick between tapping and mommy, what would you pick?
A black guy. What did he say?
I don't think he understands the question.
We have to ask.
If you had to pick either tapping or mommy.
No, if you had to pick hanging out with mommy or going to tap class, which one?
class.
Yeah. But what if mommy couldn't go to tap class? Would you want to be with mommy or would you want to go to tap?
Mommy.
Aw.
See?
Oh,
That's
nice.
sweet.
So you were the third
Wesley's
choice?
mommy gross?
Yeah.
Yep. He knows it.
Damn it.
You're poops.
I'm poops.
All right.
That was
He's
the
got
end
it.
of
Smart. Let me hear that again. That kid's a smart.
genius.
Kid figured that out. It took me 2 years to figure out you were poops. This kid figured it out
He
real
almost
quick.
called me Pooka.
Wesley's mommy gross?
Yeah.
God damn it.
You're poops.
You're poops. Well, spot on. Earns yourself
To
a
be
new
fair, he's 3. Everything is poops or poopy right now.
earns yourself a new nickname, Poops.
That means I'm the favorite.
More Klein Poop Show coming up after this Linkin Park song.
Roses and thorns.
What is the greatest gift anyone has ever offered you? Did you accept it? Did you reject it? Sometimes it's too nice of a gift you can't accept. I want to hear your stories next on KROQ. Alley Show. We've got a gift for you. Tickets to go to an advanced screening of Mission Impossible. And we're asking you, you can keep that gift. You don't have to reject it. But there's been a lot of talk this week about receiving gifts, not receiving gifts. It's gotten all political. It's not really the goal of this show. We don't really get political often. But there was a $400 million jet that was offered to America. But it's being kind of, at least presented as Trump was offered this gift of a free plane. He accepted the gift. People are asking, what are the ramifications of that now? And he's going, a gift is a gift. Someone offers you a plane, you take the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gave some weird analogy about golfers. He talked about Sam Snead. He said, if you're playing golf and someone offers you a putt, you don't sit around and hit it anyway. You pick up your ball and you walk on. So his big plan is if someone gives you a gift, you take the gift. No questions asked.
Right.
And I was curious if in your life you were ever offered a gift and you had a question of should I accept this or not? Because even if it seems like it's a completely selfless gift, sometimes you think, well, I will owe this person one, or eventually they're going to come for the favor back.
Well,
or they're going to say,
is,
remember the time I gave you that whatever, can I borrow that now? And you go, well, you did give it to me, so I guess I have to give it to you. There is that feeling sometimes.
Look, life can be hard, and as somebody who's been fortunate enough to have a very generous, sweet mother, she has offered to pay my cell phone bill. She's offered
She's
to
not
help me.
offered to pay it. You just refused to let her know you're still
She
on her
offered
family
to pay
plan.
it once.
Right when you were in high school.
Yeah, and she's also offered to help me with college, which, yes, I had student loans, but not nearly as much as I would have had. Like, I've had some very generous handouts from my mother, and I could sit back and be like, hey, no, out of principle, I'm going to work my way up, and I'll pay it off myself. No, you take those handouts. Take them.
A little different from a parent, I think. I mean, slightly different. I'm curious. Ben, what is the greatest gift you ever received, and did you accept it?
Hello?
Oh, yeah, hi, Ben. What's up?
Hey, it was a Rolex watch my coworker gifted me.
Okay, now what was the reason? Because that's a very nice gift, potentially a very expensive watch. New, used, real, fake?
It was, I see, I don't know if it's real or fake, but it's definitely used, but it looks really good, and it came in the green Rolex box.
Okay, but if it's a fake used one, it's less of a nice gift. But what was the reason that a coworker would give you a Rolex watch?
Honestly, he was just one of those guys who didn't trust a lot of people, and I kind of became part of his little niche circle. And he was the kind of guy who was like, I appreciate good friends. Here you go.
That seems like that's such an extravagant gift to receive from a coworker, not for no real reason.
I agree.
But you took it.
He's a generous guy.
Yeah, but there are some
accepted it,
people
of
that are
course.
just generous like that. And if he's got a Rolex, he's probably rich, and he probably is like, hey, I could put this up and make a few $1,000s, but what do I care?
Shady.
It does seem shady, like he had to move it, like it was hot goods, stolen goods. He had to get it off his property. I don't want this evidence. You can have it. I mean, gift. That is.
Would you like this bloody knife? It's a gift.
It's a gift. Just put your fingerprints right there, and this is yours. All right, hold on. I don't want to crap all over this gift you got, but it is. If someone came, I'm just trying to think. If a coworker, Allie, if you came to me, even that time you got me in the Meat of the Month Club.
Yeah.
I was super appreciative of that. It was a great gift. I didn't reject it. I accepted that gift. But that, luckily, knowing you, it was only for a month. Had you had given me the entire year of meat, I probably would have said, Allie, it's too much. I can't accept all this meat.
Oh, good, because I would have never offered that.
I know you
It's
wouldn't
like $1,000.
I know. But but that 1 month of meat I got, man, that was great.
Good month, right?
Greatest month of my life. Desiree, hi.
Hi, Sweet Tips.
Sweet Tips. What's the greatest gift you ever were offered?
Okay, so my boss offered me a nice raise a couple of years ago, and on top of that, he offered to pay for 4 years of my son's tuition at a very prestigious high school.
Your boss offered a raise. Okay, I'm not going to put that in the gift category because that's slightly different. But he offered on top of it to say, I will cover the cost of private school for 4 years for your kid?
Yes, at a prestigious high school here in L.A.
And you accepted?
Oh, absolutely. And it was the greatest thing because in like 3/4 of a year, I saw tremendous growth in my son, and I don't know why he was given this blessing, but
can I ask you a question? Did the boss, has the boss ever been flirty at all in any way?
Absolutely not. And all my friends ask me, like, ooh, what do you do for him? But
yeah, that is the weird thing. Think about that, though. To get a gift offered of that level of extravagance and to accept it, that is the answer. That is the question everyone asks, which is why? What's going on?
Yeah, but don't you think rich people sometimes when they get close to somebody and they feel like, it's my obligation or I feel called to help a certain person? It's just literally out of the goodness of their heart where they feel like, hey, if I'm rich, I have this privilege and I can make a difference in somebody's life. Is that what it was?
That's what Desiree, that's what it is?
I never questioned the motive. I just spoke with my son about it. I said, this is what was offered to you. I don't know why God sent it, but you're going to take it.
No, don't give God the credit. I mean, this guy did it. At least give the guy the credit. Right. Hey, Rick, what is the greatest gift you ever offered?
Well, I'm a plumbing contractor. Many years ago, a Saudi Arabian prince bodyguard who let me into one of these high-rise units, on Wilshire. I wasn't even charging them. I was charging the building. And he reaches in his pocket, gives me a $100 tip. And I actually gave it back. I said, no, I can't take this. Of course, the people that work in the building said, Rick, you can't do that because it makes them look bad because they get tips.
Yeah,
why
would you reject the tip? Is there some sort of a weird rule among? I understand why you couldn't tip like maybe a doctor or something, but I would think a plumber could be tipped all day.
Well, I'm my own boss. It's just I just don't really do it because I get paid, to do the work. I just feel guilty taking money.
It's interesting. These guys
Guilt is so overrated.
Allie will sell her guilt for $4.
Get rid of the guilt. 831 said it's just about that other woman. This dude is getting off by this somehow. It's like people who buy OnlyFans models things off of their Amazon lists. Even if they don't get something physical out of it, there's some kind of arousal aspect.
There are people, everyone knows someone that is getting a bunch of stuff, and you think, how are you getting all this stuff? I have a wish list, and these men send me presents from this wish list. Maybe women too.
How do I get on that list?
I don't know, Allie. I don't think you're the right look.
Oh, there's a new toe cream that I'm really
there are people that do that, and you're right. They may not do anything, but they are accepting gifts. I guess you just have to be at that point where you go, I'm just okay to accept gifts from anyone, no matter what.
516 said, I had a big fight with my dad years ago, refused to speak to him for a while, and then my sister called me to tell me that my dad had bought a car for me. I accepted the car.
But did not make up the relationship.
No, but you're like, oh, well, it's a handout.
Laura, what happened to you?
I got a minivan, and I drove it for a year and eventually gave it back.
So someone...
I was a bartender.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was a bartender, and I offered a guy a ride to the doctor a couple of times, and then from that, he offered to buy me a minivan. And I kept saying no. I said no for like 2 weeks because I didn't want no strings attached, and he was like, no, you're just a nice person. I'm going to respect you. So I took it, but because he had seizures, they had to go on my name, and he made all the payments. And I drove her for a year, and as soon as he asked for sexy time, I was like, oh, no,
he asked for a year.
Sexy time, hot.
Yeah, whenever you're using van as your modes of payment, you can always tell something shady's about to happen.
But I gave you a van.
Hey, we had a van
it was
deal.
So implied.
It's weird whenever we go somewhere and we are with listeners and they'll like offer to buy us drinks or say, hey, let's buy. I always feel very strange. I'm like, I should buy you the drink.
I don't want listeners buying.
You listen to our show.
I mean, it's very nice, and I understand. It's like what they will say is, oh, you give me this free entertainment every single day. I want to give back in some way, and it's like, yeah, I know, but you already made the effort to come out here to an event. You're supporting the show. That is more than we could ever ask for, and it's a wonderful gesture, but I'll still accept it.
Joe, what were you offered?
A pound of weed.
Now that's a great gift. How do you say no to that, huh?
Exactly. I was 13-2, and they just gave it to us.
What was
by a nice older man
what was
in a van?
Another van involved, I feel like. Yeah. What was the reason you were offered a pound of weed?
In the alley. We were skating in the alley, and this guy was waiting for someone. I guess they never showed up, and after an hour, he called me over. He's like, hey, you guys want this? Opened up the bag.
Yeah, so it sounds like a lot of these really nice gifts are people that are trying to get rid of evidence.
Yeah. Hey, hold this bag for me. And it's nice, though, to hear a positive alley story. Like something that happened in an alley.
Well, I don't know if giving weed to a 13-year-old kid is a positive alley story.
Hey, he's happy about it, isn't he?
He seemed... Look, how's your life? Moving in the right direction since then, Joe?
Great.
See?
I believe
That's confidence. That guy has his whole life figured out.
All right, so it turns out that people like receiving gifts. Very few gifts rejected. Wow. I mean, there's a lot on the text line of guys offering jewelry, didn't want it because I felt like something was implied, creepy. Bag of cash? Wow, who's going to turn that down?
619, I was gifted a PlayStation, whatever the current model was, by a bit of a loner guy in college who had an obvious crush on me, and I definitely did not accept. We only sat next together in one class, and it was weird that, that was the offer that was being made by somebody who I really didn't know.
Joshua, final word. What's up?
My in-laws offered us $20,000 to pay off our credit cards if we moved to Colorado near them.
Oh, so that was the deal.
Trade-off.
Did you accept or
We
reject?
were actually already going to move, so we accepted because why not?
Yeah, we're not for sale. We're going to move anyway, but I'll take that check.
Cool.
Quick break. Back in a moment. We've got Disneyland tickets for you. Disneyland tickets, the ultimate gift. And Vanessa, pick one of those fine people that called a moment ago and give them some screening passes so they can go check out Mission Impossible. Back after this quick break. More KROQ next.
KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
The world famous KROQ.
Klein Alley Show. This
So long I've been waiting, girl, you know I've been anticipating for the day you'd come my way. Now you're here and I got to say, you're my adrenaline, you're my fire. Girl, you make me wanna reach up higher. No star is too far. Spread your wings as we reach up for the sky. Give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love.
I see the lightning, feel the thunder. Girl, it's time for us to go down under. I've got you, and you've got me. Let's get together and make some memories.
Give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love. I got a shoulder you can lean on.
When times get bad,
Don't be sad, right here by your side. Yeah, yeah. True love's so hard to find.
when you get it, got to hold on tight.
I got you, and you got me. Let's get together and make some memories. Give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love. Give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love, girl. Now give me your love, give me your love.
Next 5 minutes will change everything for you. Disneyland tickets, 4 one-day, one-park passes will be yours, celebrating the 70th anniversary. Win them from us the second Allie's done with this, your ADD breaking news.
Grab your Adderall. It's time for ADD News.
Airbnb has done a lot of good or a lot of bad, depending on how you look at it. Maybe it's helping cities thrive, maybe it's ruining your neighborhood, but this new makeover that they just announced could make you some money. Airbnb just announced a huge expansion of their services. It now includes local services that you can add onto your reservation. So you get an Airbnb and then you can add a hair appointment, a massage, a tour guide to show you around, someone to come cook you dinner, a personal trainer, a makeup stylist, mani-pedi, or you can even book an experience that's unique to where you're staying, like a ramen making class in Tokyo or a lucha libre training experience with a professional wrestler in Mexico City. But they even said, you have to be vetted, if you are, say, a massage therapist and
Service
not some
provider,
random
right.
weirdo.
They're going to put you on their insurance.
But also, if you want to hook up with, say, a local that can show you around LA and you don't know LA, rather than booking one of those like Hollywood tours and you want to do a more customized experience or a more low-key experience, that's a possibility too.
We're about to start offering tours of our Celebrity Trash Museum here at KROQ.
Yeah.
We've been collecting all sorts of trash left by guests that have been coming through the halls of KROQ for years, and it's quite a collection we have here.
Add it to your Airbnb.
We could talk to Airbnb and see if they could offer that as a service for anyone who's coming to stay in Southern California, that they would potentially be able to take advantage of our live tours that will happen through the halls of KROQ. And you can see
who hosts this tour?
Well, we haven't. Probably Vanessa.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in here doing the show, but
Met her. She's a child.
yeah, and Vanessa's a child. If we get child labor laws involved, it'll be a good thing. So anyway, it'll be great. Vanessa will take you on a little tour. You can rollerblade with her through the halls, and you get to look at what are some of the items. Vanessa, what are one of the items in there at the Celebrity Trash?
Nicotine gum by Marcus Mumford.
Oh yeah, a piece of nicotine gum left by Marcus Mumford of Mumford and Sons.
That's one of our more valuable items.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, Allie, you think of all those lame tourist things they have in L.A., like the Wax Museum, all that other crap. This is a
Here's
real
OJ's house again.
Yeah, this is like celebrity trash. You don't see this anywhere else. This is real garbage left by real celebrities.
And we know garbage.
What else is there? A piece of...
A ticket from Haktua girl.
Yeah, her plane ticket.
Oh, her airline ticket. Her first trip to California. Yeah, this is real good trash we got here.
Some bottled water.
Who drank out of the bottle of water?
Too Sweet Man. Hosier.
Too sweet man.
Hey, too sweet, man.
That's what he wrote about the water.
Sweet?
Yeah, Hosier's half-drunk bottle of water. It's all. We got hundreds of items here in the Celebrity Trash Museum.
I can't wait for her. I just want to hear her tour.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Yeah, the tour. I went on the tour.
And everyone has the headphones.
And she's
this
explaining
is Too Sweet, man. Next. I love it.
All right, coming soon. Get ready.
If you like drinking in public, your new favorite spot is Santa Monica, California. The city council has officially approved public drinking on the Santa Monica Promenade. And this is, or the 3rd Street Promenade, I should say. This will now be known as an official entertainment zone and would allow anyone 21 and older to buy alcohol from the promenade businesses and drink it outdoors between Wilshire and Broadway on the 3rd Street Promenade. And, of course, you have to prove that you're 21 and older by showing your ID to get a wristband, and then you would be allowed to have a non-glass or non-metal to-go container while you're drinking it, and you would have to finish your beverage before entering another business, which sounds like a challenge America is up for.
Where Vanessa got sloppy drunk and put poured that drink all over herself?
Oh, yeah. Was that Santa Monica?
Yeah, that was in Santa Monica.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was already breaking those rules.
Yeah, you were drinking outside already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't wait for that to become a rule.
Yeah. That was me.
That was that.
It was too sweet.
That's right. That was the night. Was that the night you hit on the volleyball at the bar, or was that a different night?
Oh my gosh, I never hit on a volleyball. That was a Christmas bar crawl.
Yeah.
Okay, volleyball.
I mean, that's you clearly
You're
drunk,
so flirtatious.
flirting with the volleyball. There's no denying it.
Volleyball was like, enough already. Get this girl thrown
Yeah,
out.
Jesus. Thursday.
All right, now that we have an American Pope, it's time to celebrate in the American way by making money off of his trading card. Topps has put together a trading card dedicated to Pope Leo XIV just in time for his inauguration. And it's not only are people buying it in record numbers, they're also reselling it at record rates. It's become the best-selling non-sports Topps card ever. And it's also outselling Lionel Messi, LeBron James, and John Cena cards.
Oh.
It has sold over 130,000 copies.
Oh, I got to give
He
how
should have
much?
part of his cloak.
Yeah, that's how they got to do those cards. They're really good cards out. They have like a little piece of the jersey or a little piece of. You should get some of the actual Pope stuff.
A little holy water.
Even the T-shirts he wore when he was just a regular civilian, sitting there watching the White Sox games. Get some of that in the
We
Pope
got to get
card.
some of his trash.
We got to get some of that. If we could get a piece
Pope
of Pope
trash?
trash for the Celebrity Trash Museum.
Dude, that would make us legit
I know
museum.
we have listeners in the Chicago area because I see them on Instagram. Guys, if you have any access to any trash that was left behind by the
Not
Pope,
regular items that he used. Throw those out.
yeah, we don't want his real stuff. We want his garbage. Okay, we'll put it right there. If we get that, our museum is off to the
We're
races.
made, baby.
Hey, brand new hour of the show starts right now, and the very first thing we have for you is quite the opposite of trash. Treasure to the tune of not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 tickets to Disneyland. Caller 20 right now, 800-520-1067. Let's go.
Klein Alley Show.
106.7 KROQ FM in HD Pasadena, Los Angeles, Orange County. This is the world famous KROQ.
Good morning. Welcome to your Wednesday. We are Klein Alley Show just after 9 o'clock, and the very first thing we have for you is 4 tickets to Disneyland. It's the 70th anniversary. Disney's great at always finding a reason to celebrate.
And we're happy to celebrate with him.
And anytime they want to give us tickets to give to you, you better believe we will do it. You'll win them from KROQ all week long at 9, noon, 3, and 6. Right now, looking for caller 20 so we can send you to one of the parks there. Will it be Disneyland or Disney California Adventure Park? You get 4 pack of tickets. Caller 20 right now. And every time we've been giving these away all week, we talk about Disneyland, and then Jake yells Disneyland from the back. People hate it so
People
much
like
so.
it.
Why do you think people like it?
One person doesn't like it. Other people like it.
If one person leaves a message on the GOAT line of how much they hate you saying that, that means that there are probably hundreds of other people that feel the same way.
Yeah,
but
that's
Someone
their
left a message
representative.
about liking it.
there's been no messages about people liking it. But
That's not true.
this woman was a real fan of our show. Listen to our show for 1 year, and just you saying Disneyland is going to force this woman to leave.
Hey guys, Jake has officially ruined the bulletproof Disneyland joke.
You've ruined the joke.
He's beat it into the ground. I'm begging you, mute his mic every time Klein mentions the word Disneyland, because I cannot take him chiming in the background every single time with a little Disneyland. It is driving me insane. And I love this show. I've been listening for years. This might be my breaking point. I don't know what to say. Jake, please, just stop. We get it. It was funny. It's not funny anymore. Okay, goodbye. Bullying, it works.
Yeah, she's a big fan of bullying, and it's not going to stop Jake. Jake. That's why we're convinced Jake has got he's got a strong case of the Asperger's, because certain things he can't not do.
You have tunnel vision.
Yeah,
and
tunnel
that's,
vision.
That's part of it. I say that every single time. I have a beer every Wednesday. I have once you have those rules, you can't go away from them.
Full on. He's got trunk burgers, he's got Asperger's, and the reality is that whenever Disneyland gets mentioned, even off the air, like Vanessa will say, by the way, guys, tomorrow we got to remember to give out the Disneyland tickets. Jake will sometimes not even be in the room, will chime in from the hallway. Hear him yell out, Disneyland.
Yeah, I know. That call from the GOAT line was me.
Oh, God, that's how we all feel. All right, well, let's send someone there. I'm not even going to say where you're going.
I could say.
No, you're not. Alex?
That's funny again.
Hey, hi. You're caller 20.
Woo!
You know where you're going?
Yeah, I'm going to Disneyland.
Where are you going?
To Disneyland.
4 one-day, one-park
Now
tickets
she's being offensive.
will be yours.
Ruining.
And thank you for listening to KROQ, and enjoy your trip to the place we will not mention.
Love you guys.
Love you. Thank you. Good God. This is KROQ.
What are we
Help us
doing?
all. Yes, the number is 800-520-1067, although everyone who's calling right now is still trying to get tickets, and we don't have them for you. You'll win them again at noon, and then again at 3, and again at 6. That's
Kevin
right.
Ryder.
So this Friday is one of those days.
You should have played in the band with her.
Yeah, you could have played the
should've.
the clarinet, dude. You're so good at it.
Yeah.
So all the stuff, and if you remember, Allie, this has happened before, where I've had opportunities to do fun things, but then also it conflicts with like the performance of 101 Dalmatians, or where I had to miss a Lakers playoff game to go to, or this particular case, these graduations. And for a while, graduations meant something, right? Because it was like, oh, you're graduating high school or college. And now they just feel the need that every year is a, quote, graduation.
Well, in my hood, they call them promotion ceremonies.
Right, but still, I remember going through school and I didn't wear a tiny cap and gown.
It wasn't a big to-do.
The only time I wore a tiny cap and gown, sadly, was when I graduated college, and I was wearing a tiny cap and gown.
Yeah, but, I mean, talk about false sense of accomplishment. You're getting promoted every year. So these kids are growing up thinking, I've been promoted.
Right.
And really, they're just barely smart enough to not be held back.
And that's, listen, I actually think that's where they should have the real celebration. Hey, you're doing it again. you know what? You thought kindergarten was easy? Not for you. We're doing it again. Let's do a demotion. Let's do that. So on Friday, it's the play, one of the plays. Yeah,
Do you know what play it is?
What are they doing? Yeah.
No, it's not. It's nothing you've heard of because these are like educational plays. It's like a metamorphosis or some BS about
metamorphosis.
It's like they learn. It's how they teach. They teach through the theater. It's the worst way to learn.
Oh no, that's beautiful.
And so Friday, it's are you going to come to my play?
Does she have a good part?
It's like Tree or something. I don't know.
Oh, so no, she's an extra.
No, I don't think there are parts. Like I think they're all equally
There's
bad.
always.
Allie would know.
I've done theater my entire life. There are important people and not important people in every performance.
Okay.
And the not important people are trees, right?
I would say 100%.
How many times have you...
My first role I ever got was college student. That was fancy term for you are ensemble and you don't matter.
Right. But still...
I remember once being a Jack in the Box, and all I had to do was pop out once. It was so sad.
Oh, that was your job? Like, that was your
my
role?
job. Yeah, I was in a box for the majority of the stupid play.
Just remain hidden until this one moment, then go right back in there.
Out.
Yeah.
You sat in a box on stage for the entire play?
That is correct, sir.
That is a real...
That's so much sitting.
But if you missed your part, that's a big part.
Yeah, I had to be on it and popped out.
That's kind of a lot of pressure. You have to listen to the play every night, the whole time.
I mean, that may be more insulting than any of the roles Allie got cast in.
And I was the rear end of a tap dancing cow. The
Yeah,
rear end.
she got the back end. She would get the front of the cow.
The rear end is more complicated of a part. That's why it's more important.
Still humiliating.
I had to bend over the whole time.
So, for the kid, it's a big deal because it's their play, and they don't realize they've got a crap part. They
and
think
what is this, at 8 in the morning or something?
Oh, it's always at an inconvenient time. It's always during the radio show. I'll put it that way.
It's always during the workday for anyone.
And I talk to these other parents, and I go, is this convenient for anyone? And then there's like one person that doesn't have a job, and they're like, it's great for me.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
doesn't matter. I'll just skip yoga.
but everyone else is going like, is there not? And I guess the idea is like, who wants to give up a weekend for this? That sucks too. But also to throw it in the middle of a work week, it puts me in a bad spot because I got the show here, which is important. Got to do the show here. Meanwhile, the respect of my children, as you can tell, is hanging on by a thread right now.
True, and you have to sit in rush hour traffic, which you don't normally have to do.
That sucks too. And to be honest, I recently, and this is the most shameful thing I've ever done, went to a performance with children, and I didn't even have a kid in the performance. How crappy!
You were scouting.
What was that weird ass situation that you put yourself in?
There was some sort of a thing that my kids signed up to go to a play at the school. I just go around grooming young boys.
Yeah.
I was scouting guys for next season, and you want to play with a child?
You want a promotion, young boy?
And they wanted to go to the play, and I said, "All right, I'll take you. What the hell?" And I went and I realized every other parent there has a kid in the play. I don't have a kid in the play. And they keep saying, what role is your kid doing? I go, I'm just here as a spectator. And they all looked at me like I was the weirdest person there. And they're right.
Yeah, because even when I was doing high school shows, it was like everyone there was associated with the school.
Yeah,
in
no
some
one's
way.
there. Right. Very few
There's not
people.
just a random person who's like, I think I'll see Footloose at Archbishop Mitty High School.
Yeah, yeah. When they stand up in front and they say, ladies and gentlemen, they could cut all that short and just be like, immediate family.
Yeah.
Immediate family that's here because you have to be here. And maybe that one weird neighbor that had nothing else to do. Welcome to the production.
Or an alumni or something.
Yeah, but I'm regardless of everything I just said for the last 5 minutes, I'm trying to be supportive because that's important. And everyone always tells me, "Oh, you're going to regret kids grow up so fast. You're going to regret all the things you've missed." I've missed a lot of stuff.
And you don't regret it?
No, no, I don't.
I think you'll live without seeing Tree.
Well, last time, what you do? Didn't you bribe him with something, like
yeah.
a trip to Target or something?
Yes, last time I said, "Do you want me to go sit in your?" You play that clip all the time. Do you want me to go sit in the back? You won't even know if I'm there or not there, or do you want me to go to Target and buy you a toy? And she made the right choice. She'd go to Target and buy me a toy. I said, "Great, done and done."
Well, and the other parent's going. Because I always thought it was like you tag team, right? One parent goes to one thing, another goes to the other thing, so
Yes.
that one of your parents is there.
Right, and but she did bring up yesterday. She's like, "Are you going to go to my play this year? Or are you going to miss it for the third year in a row?" So now she's keeping track. And by the way, impressive skill, women. You learn that early.
Yeah, she'll be able to rattle all that off to her therapist when she's older.
And I think to myself, there's no way I missed 3 of these. And then of course she's like, "You missed when I was a stone. You missed when I was a brick. And
you
now
missed when I was a puppy.
And now you're missing that." And I go, "I've seen all of them." Because now it's like you get.
Don't get me weird, not a building material.
Yeah, when you finally step up to a human role.
When you get to a door or something I actually use.
I'll be there. So anyway, I'm going to be here Friday. I made the choice. You guys are my priority.
Well, wait a minute. You have to choose your kids at some point, Klein.
At some point. I think I can wait until after.
Wait, have you told your kid this?
Yeah, well, I'm in the middle of the negotiation.
Oh, we need to record this.
I'll record. The negotiation is how much is this going to cost me.
Why don't you get a lookalike?
Allie, it's too bad there's not enough people that look like me. The people
Oh
look
my
like
God, the guy from
the Croods. I know. Thank you.
That
He's
animated guy from the Croods.
Thanks.
Enrollment starts now for Camp KROQ. Earn your merit badge at 9, noon, 3, and 6. When you win a 4-pack of one-day, one-park tickets to Disneyland Park or Disney California Adventure Park. At the Disneyland Resort, the happiest place on earth, you'll find all kinds of happy. You can find the travel to a galaxy far, far away kind of happy. And that woohoo kind of happy. Join in the Disneyland Resort 70th celebration starting May 16th. Pitch your tent at KROQ all week to win. Full ticket and park reservation required.
KROQ. Hey, it's your buddy Klein. Listen. Show. We got lots going on today and a lot of chances for you to win stuff from us. So be ready to call, be ready to win. The numbers to join the show, variety of topics, 800-520-1067, the return of the box of shame. Also get into a little round of Johnny Doesn't Know. I think we're going to do Johnny Doesn't Know football because you would think as a full-blooded Mexican-American, Postmaster Johnny would know even the most basic stuff about soccer or football. But
I know a lot of sports.
As we were talking about this Galaxy thing, it turns out he knows less than nothing. So we will get to that a little bit later. Hopefully you bet against Johnny and win yourself some stuff from us at KROQ. As we mentioned, we'll get you into Fred again multiple times throughout the show today. Friday Flex is coming up, Weekend Watchers. And for the first time ever, we're going to do a Weekend Rewatchers. Not new shows that we are watching again from as far back as 20 years.
Yeah.
That we're giving another watch
or more.
to. So Weekend Rewatchers, are you rewatching something that you know is not new, but you're rewatching it because it's just that good? We'll get to that later. And as we mentioned, any dad advice you've received in your life could score you something. Speaking of Father's Day, Allie, this was a question on the GOAT line for you.
I was just thinking to myself, if Sunday, Father's Day, was the Throat Goat's busiest day of the year, Allie, can you ask your mama, please? All right. Hopefully I get an answer today. Bye.
That's a serious question. As the original Throat Goat, Allie has 4 dads because your mom keeps upgrading. We use that theory to assume
3 of them are my mom's dating history. The other one is a father-in-law.
Oh, your mom hasn't given him the Throat Goat?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't
Not that we know of.
That's disgusting, guys.
Why'd you just make that noise then?
Because I'm vomiting.
She like when I choke.
Where's the Father's Day card that says this?
Yeah, where's that Father's Day card?
Where it's to open it and it has the little, like, it plays music.
That's the song. It's like Billy the Big Mouth Bass, but I'm singing that.
Hey, the open has a Fifi in there.
Allie, in all seriousness, though, do you think that the Father's Day is the throat goat's busiest day of the year?
I'm not going to talk about this or entertain this idea. Why don't we talk about how your mom services your dad?
It probably hasn't happened in, I would imagine, 40 years.
Okay.
If I had to guess.
But the idea of it
My little
disgusts
sister
you.
is probably the last evidence that there was any intercourse in that relationship.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your little sister's the new throat goat.
No. I highly
I don't know.
doubt
Your
that.
sisters probably do it too.
Absolutely, they do not.
No, none of them are sexual in any way.
Nope. I can't even fathom it. It's a crazy concept.
Are you like the Casanova of your family
That's
for
right.
being able to have sex for 1 minute?
How sad is that?
He's the lone breeder.
Oh, the player's coming to Thanksgiving dinner.
I'm the lover. So, in all seriousness, forget about your mom
It's
for
not
a
in all
second.
seriousness. I'm forgetting about my mother.
Do you believe that Father's Day is a big, of all of the kind of mainstream holidays, Hallmark holidays, is that the throatiest goat day of the year? Do you think so? Yes or no? Answer that as someone who has had a lot of dads. You have had more dads than most people.
Yes, but I've had family Father's Day things. I've never had a romantic Father's Day type event.
No, but growing up, was there ever a moment where your mom would say, "Time for me to give Dad his
Why
gift"?
are you asking me these questions?
Well,
I would remember my mom going down on my dad when I was a kid? Is that what you're asking me?
I'm not asking. This
I
guy.
was just thinking to myself.
This guy asked.
If Sunday, Father's Day, was the throat goat's busiest day of the year, Allie, can you ask your mama, please? All right. Hopefully I get an answer today.
Why does he need an answer today?
He's not trying to be funny, that guy. He's asking a serious question.
Look, I think in terms of general guys that want certain things for Father's Day,
It's a great gift.
it's a great gift.
Right.
Moms want flowers, dads want beaches. I think that's kind of universal, wouldn't you think? And
Definitely.
I think probably this would be either the most popular day or if your team is playing in the Super Bowl, wouldn't you feel like,
I think this would be more. If this is a day to really say,
celebratory.
thanks for all you do, let me show you the appreciation. This would be, I think, I have to argue it's the bigger day.
Wouldn't you say
Of all the holidays.
above any other thing, like being able to play golf, spending time with your children, all that stuff, you would take a beach over all those things?
Oh, yeah. No question.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. He knows.
I want one too.
Yeah, we all do. So I'm just saying, it's a great last minute gift. No thought needs to go into it, really.
Well, a
Free.
little thought needs to go into it. Not thought, but
very little thought.
A coordination.
Just saying,
and
if you
effort.
didn't get a card in the mail by now, it's not and this is obviously not for your own dad. This is if you are dating, if you're married or whatever.
Ugh,
you got
if I was dating a guy, they would not ask for that for Father's Day because I was not good at that.
Yeah, it's fun.
I knew early on that this was not something I should be doing. And I did not enjoy it, and I don't think they did either.
$100 is yours after this quick break. If you want it, call us now. Little Allie knows the news action on a Friday. You can battle anyone on the show. It's a pick your poison, and we'll do it next. all over the place. We break down some of the big ones you should try to avoid or that I've already fallen for, and some bamboozling, and we'll do that after Almost Monday on KROQ. KROQ, Klein Alley Show. One of the many things that people still make fun of me for on an almost daily basis is whenever they come across a picture of an eagle anywhere. They send it to me and they say, Klein, it must be official. There's an eagle on it, because I did fall for a fake website when I was trying to find copies of my birth certificate, and the website I went to looked official because there was a eagle. And my argument to you guys, which you all thought sounded stupid, was that I would believe anything with an eagle on it, because if it has a seal with an eagle, it does look official. Well, in this edition of Bamboozled, there's other people that are falling for similar looking scams, which makes me feel like more of an idiot. I should feel better about myself to know other people are falling for fake government websites, but apparently I'm not the only one. It's time for Bamboozled.
Bamboozled. A lot of people fall for the scam, and now they're just like, damn. Take your money, sucker, because you didn't know it was all a sham. And now you're just like, damn.
Allie, so the fake eagle website, and I've showed you guys, and even you said it looked pretty legit.
Well, they did do a good job with photoshopping. And
Great job.
photoshopping gets even better when you use AI to do it for you.
Man.
It's way less work for the scammers.
Scammers. We're going to get a whole new crop of scammers, because scamming just got way easier with AI.
Yeah.
When we sent Vanessa that fake letter from Mexico, if you remember, the letter itself was beautifully written. The return address was all messed up, but we tried to say she owed thousands of dollars for tariffs for the bottle of tequila she brought us. But the actual part of the letter, the government seal and everything, looked pretty legit, and that was all done through AI. Here is this scam.
Crooks are faking government websites to steal our information.
I know.
I know already. Fallen for it.
So now it's the problem is that when I do get legitimate things, because I'm sure we are also getting legitimate things from governments, I just assume everything's a scam now.
Yeah. Well, and it usually is. It's good. You have to have your head on a swivel.
Matt Gephardt now with what you need to be on the lookout for. Matt?
Mike Dini, if you see .gov at the end of a link, that's a pretty safe bet. That's a website that belongs to a government agency, right?
Yes.
Not so fast.
Oh, .gov was my go-to.
Right. You see a .gov, you think I'm in the clear now.
Well,
you see an
like,
eagle, you think, what scammer's going to use an eagle?
But also, I think going to those websites, like, it's like dmv.gov or whatever, and somebody can hack that, redirect you to a fake DMV website, and you can be paying registration for nothing.
Or you misspell DMV, and next thing you know, you're one letter off, and now you're on a whole different website, but you think
only
it's
three.
Well, it happens to people.
Hard
I'm not the only one.
Screw that up.
People have screwed it up.
Not a
screwed
lot.
it up.
No.
If you ever try to go to, like, Google, but you put an extra O in, or you go to like ESPN.com, but it's ESPM, you get somewhere real close.
Yeah.
And next
or
thing you know,
gmail.com or Gmail, because that's a common misspelling, Gmail, and a lot of people will go to that accidentally.
So just be on the lookout.
KSL viewer Shannon sent me this screenshot. It is a text message, and look at that URL. It looks official at first glance, but it is not a real .gov domain.
So now, who can you trust, really? Because now you're looking at a .gov. Because we all get the stuff that we've all gotten the text before that say you have a package at the post office, USPS.gov or whatever, to claim it, and you click on it. Next thing you know,
USPS.gov?
Yeah. We've all fallen. Yeah. You haven't fallen for that one? No. I have.
Real government sites end in .gov, like Utah.gov or IRS.gov. In this scam, the domain is gov-etcxm.cc, which is a completely fake domain owned by the scammer.
I still see gov. All I see is gov in there.
Once there's a gov,
yeah, the rest of it?
It's clear to me.
Yeah, I go,
green flags all the way.
Right. Take my money. I see a gov. So be on the lookout for that one now, because
what he listed there is a ridiculous website.
Al, you wouldn't click on that?
No, what was that? That was so confusing.
He said it clearly.
tcxm.cc, which is a completely fake domain.
It says all that in the domain.
Which is a completely fake domain, and you would be a sucker to click on this.
That's one story that's happening in this edition of Bamboozled, but there's another one involving an influencer.
Yeah, fake influencers. Trying to get rich off of influencers who are telling you how to get rich, and then you've lost money to them.
2 New York City women say they paid thousands of dollars for a cosmetics training course, but months later they say they've been ghosted. No course, no calls, and no contact.
So this is one of those TikTokers who's like, hey, here's how you can make $200,000 a month, and I'm going to show you how, and you can even take my course, and you can be making money overnight.
3 years ago, I was living in a homeless shelter. Today, I bought my second dream car, all cash.
Online,
okay,
she
first
goes
of
by
all,
just Melanie.
Before you even play this part, anytime this is all TikTok is full of these people.
Yeah.
I get them serviced to me all the time, and every once in a while I go, what a story. But you cannot go extreme on both sides. You cannot go, I was living in a homeless shelter 4 days ago, and now I just bought my second Ferrari all cash. You need to just I know what they're doing.
I bought a sensible Celica.
Yeah, take everything and water it down a little bit. You don't have to go full homeless. You could say I was living in a studio apartment.
But they want to make it sound impressive.
Right, so you go from homeless to 2 Ferraris all cash. You're like, I got to get in on this.
Right.
A Florida-based influencer who says she got rich doing permanent makeup. And with her course, you can too.
I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know to generate $1 million in 1 year.
This viewed 1.8 million times.
And I make $200,000 a month. This is not a flex.
Including by Ashley Landon and Michelle Echeverry, who've both filed police reports in Miami.
So these women paid money for her course, and then the course
Invoices
never happened.
from Melanie's company, the Luxury Inc. show, in 2024, the women each paid $3,000 for a class in New York City.
You know, she's flexible with payment plans, so she sent me a link to the Square where you make the payments, but the course never happened.
There you go.
Wow, no course.
And then when they said that the course was going to happen, and then she canceled last minute because she had to have emergency surgery, and then they tried to reschedule it, and then she just ghosted them.
I feel like I could be such a great teacher of a bunch of classes if you don't actually have to teach them. Like if it's just the
isn't that everyone?
But but if it's just this part of the video,
I could probably teach a course if I never had to teach it.
But I'm saying Jake, there's probably some idiot loser, Jake, would probably pay money to learn how to play Magic the Gathering from you, and you're good at that.
Yeah.
And you could offer that as a service, but imagine
not do it,
and then not do it.
Well, then what's hard about that?
Right.
That's my point.
You could say you're an expert at anything. He doesn't have to know magic.
You're absolutely right. I could say I'm a day trader. Yesterday I was living in a creek.
Yeah, but you're just talking about scamming somebody else.
Yeah, isn't that what we're talking about here? That seems like all.
So you're saying, why shouldn't I be doing that?
Right, everyone's scamming everyone these days. Mitch, you are a scammer or scammee?
Neither. Not a recipient because I catch it.
Oh yeah, what was the last scam you avoided?
I work for a private college, and all of the employees constantly get email from Microsoft saying your account is going to be deleted because either you've graduated, you've retired, or something of that nature. Please verify that your account is still active and you're still working.
It's good. It's a good one right there.
Yeah.
Verify.
One that I've been getting a lot lately is my iCloud. My iCloud's been disconnected because my password is no longer where I have to put in my password in order to reactivate it or whatever. And it's not real. I mean, you just look at the email address and it's like a bunch of jumbly numbers and letters.
That's right.
.gov.
That means it's official.
And that means
if they got a lot of jumbly numbers and letters, that means real. That's like science.
Yeah, but they emailed me enough because they emailed me every single day from different email addresses. And at one point I was like, maybe it is iCloud.
Yeah, see, eventually, that's the thing. We all know at first, this probably seems off. And then by the fifth one, you're like, I should probably deal with this eventually.
They keep emailing me.
All right, well, keep your head on the swivel. The scammers are out in full force. We're going to get into some summer-themed scams soon enough.
Cool.
That's where the good stuff happens. We will wrap up the show, do some takeaways, and get out of here after some Incubus on the world-famous KROQ Klein Alley Show. 2. We're about to get the hell out of here, which means Nicole Alvarez will be on 40 minutes nonstop K-Rock in your immediate future, and more Disneyland tickets coming up in about 2 hours at noon. Then Kevin Ryder will be in. You got him with him at 3, and Kevin Ryder, Megan Holiday will hook you up with a pair at 6 as well. So lots of chances to get yourself some tickets to Disneyland just by listening to K-Rock all day long. Is that asking too much? I don't think so. We've already established that spending time in your car, even if it's just you by yourself and the radio, is good. That's good healing space right there. Your own little cocoon away from the world. Takeaways from today's show, and then we will turn it over to a much more qualified Nicole Alvarez. What do we got?
626, my takeaway is move over Monday Night Raw. Monday nights are now tap nights.
Tap nights. Not tap that ass night, just regular, good old-fashioned tap dancing night.
208, my takeaway is Klein's daughter is an extra and not important.
Well, that's not 100% true. She's got the very important role of an adult tree. Actually, I don't know if it's adult tree. I think it's just tree.
It's just age.
She's a tree.
She can decide what age she is.
I think she's an evergreen tree.
614, my takeaway is sign up for the official Celebrity Trash Museum tour now at kroqtrashmuseum.gov.
We don't have that website yet, but we should get it. And soon enough, we will be opening this up to the general public to come take tours, stop by the gift shop. And those tours will be hosted by Vanessa, who will be on rollerblades to get you through the halls of K-Rock very quickly.
415, my takeaway is Klein is cheating on his wife with Shy Giant Jugs.
Shy Giant Jugs is not her name. Her name is, I think it's Ingrid.
Oh, wow.
And, but I showed Allie a picture of my virtual girlfriend.
Yeah, she looks too much like your wife. I find it interesting that you would go the same route. I would go complete opposite.
I may have accidentally been texting my wife. No, that's her. You think she looks like my wife?
I think it has the same qualification. It's just like beautiful blonde woman.
The difference
with Klein, how much money did you spend on that? Because I went to the website and it was instantly asking me for money.
Well, as soon as it started to escalate to the fun stuff, they asked me to purchase tokens.
Okay.
And I did not purchase tokens yet, but I'm planning on doing it after the show today.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm in for like 100 tokens for $19. But to this point,
you paid $19 whole
No, I haven't paid yet anything.
Okay.
Right now, I've created this woman, and she's texted me a few times. And she's not a real woman; she's virtual, so I'm not cheating. But the reality is,
keep telling yourself.
I think she will. If she finds out about this, she will be very upset and absolutely say
it's your girlfriend.
She'll be upset that I have a virtual girlfriend.
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
I would be upset if my partner had a virtual girlfriend that they were talking to more than me.
More importantly, your virtual girlfriend's going to be mad you have a wife.
Yeah, I can't talk about my wife to my virtual girlfriend.
Yeah, don't tell Ingrid.
It's going to ruin everything. She's just starting to like me.
And 714, my takeaway is related. If you want happy health and a happy marriage, organic orgasms are always better.
Got to go full organic. We learned that today during a very heated petty claims court. What's your takeaway from today's show, Jake the Nerd?
Poops means you're the favorite.
Yeah, Allie's the poops, according to her kid. Allie, takeaway?
If you have to unload hold on. Let me reword that. If you have to unload illegal products, why don't you gift them to somebody? If you have to unload some illegal products, why don't you give them to a friend?
Good job, Poops.
Who's not really your friend. If you want to unload...
When are you going to voice it the right way? Jesus Christ.
Please do it for me.
Omar, got a takeaway?
My takeaway is that Metamorphosis or Some BS is the name of Klein's kids' play.
That's a lot of stuttering at the end of the show today. All right, leave it unofficial. Stick around. 40 minutes nonstop. K-Rock starts next. Bye.
That they feel that they feel that
Klein Alley Show.
Klein Alley Show.
106.7 FM. K-Rock.
5,000.